Let's do this.
It's
And
about time.
ain't nothing wrong with the salad, Trevon. You do you.
It's about time.
Ain't nothing wrong with the salad. Don't listen to AJ. AJ ain't got a
Nasty salad. That's when you got to put all this other stuff in the salad because it's nasty by itself.
AJ hasn't had a haircut in 16 years. Don't listen to AJ.
It's actually been like 3 months, but yeah, I do need a haircut.
It's been 16 years, 4 days, 3 weeks, and 26 hours.
I'll get one this weekend.
You better get one before you walk into a movie theater for the Batman. You don't let Batman see you looking like that? The nerve.
The nerve.
The nerve.
And Juwaan, the nerve.
The nerve. First of all, I'm gonna say this for the umpteenth time. Y'all gonna stop reaching and try to make my voice sound like that. My voice don't sound
that's the sound of your voice.
My voice don't sound
no one's judging you.
You just made fun of it. What do you think that is?
No one's judging you. I'm just copying what you said.
Oh, got
you. Exact same voice you did.
Got you. So that's supposed to be a compliment, I guess?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a compliment. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to an all-new episode of GVN Talk. As you can see, we hate AJ here. But anyway, I'm your host, Juwaan. We have a special guest from the Geek Set podcast, Didge. What's up, Didge? Welcome to GVN Talk.
Thank you for having me. I don't know what I got here. Just appreciate y'all having me.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. In the background.
So Didge, just so you have an idea on what you've walked into, because I don't usually like to prepare people, but just to give you a heads up. If you've ever seen the episode of Dave Chappelle where they had the player haters ball, that's what GVN Talk is on a regular basis. It's just a haters ball. It's a haters ball.
Ash with her purple hair over here.
Don't be mad.
Looking good over there. I see you.
Thanks, Bill.
Do you see AJ already starting off with the player hate?
I said looking good already.
Listen, but that's not how you started it.
Yeah, right. Doesn't matter how you started it. All that matters is how I finish. Okay.
I thought it was going to go left.
Listen, same here because I was ready. Ash
stays ready. AJ, just stop, okay? Because I always get shots when you get started with Ash, okay? Leave Ash alone. But yeah, so this is just one massive player haters ball, but a geek edition.
I don't hate.
I don't know how true that is.
I was just appreciating. I
don't know how true that is. Ash, you were ready to curse me out over orange juice, so I don't know how true that is. Yeah, you were gonna curse me out over orange.
You hate orange juice?
No, I think orange juice is inferior to apple juice.
It is. No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
No, that's
accurate. My Lord. Oh my goodness.
See?
Wow.
See, Ash?
I guess we are player hating tonight. I guess we are.
Yep.
You only drink orange juice in the morning, and then you got apple juice anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you just don't like apple juice.
Apple juice is just ew. No.
Okay.
No, keep that at my household.
All I'm saying is apple juice to me.
It's for the weak.
No, it just a lot more things. Like you could just pair it with so many other things. Orange juice is so strong with acid. It's like breakfast. That's it. Only serial killers is having steak and potatoes and orange juice. Like what? Like
that's a wild combo.
Who does that?
That's a wild combo.
That's a wild combo. That's what I expect somebody that like is on their last meal in prison, and they want to make sure that when they're put away, they shit all over the place. That's the kind of meal that they want, so they can just shit all over the place. But normal people, we drink apple juice. But anyway, I want to welcome in Trevon, AJ, Tristian, Ash. Jaime will be joining us in a little bit. So we
always late.
Oh, you see, that's why she be coming for you. That's why she be coming for you.
But we do have to make sure that we keep some of the player hate for Jaime, so Jaime feels part of the group. Okay, so save some player hate for Jaime.
I don't discriminate.
My goal by the end of this episode is to get Trevon to say 5 bad things about his co-hosts. That's what my goal is by the end of this show, Trevon. You're just too nice.
Why are you trying to promote negativity?
I need you to spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I need you to spice it up a bit. I need Tristian to curse on air. I just need a few things. I got a checklist. Don't worry about it.
You guys are boring.
Wow.
I got a checklist. It's cool. All right. We're going to start off with the Q&A. Shouts out to Mr. E, who is in the chat right now. Mr. E sent us a bunch of questions. Some of them are
Mr. Anderson.
Specific people. Can I finish? Thank you. Some of these questions are for us, like specifically, and some is just for a group conversation. So the first one is, and Trevon, this question is going to go to you to start because this is your realm. This is your realm. This is the kind of question you would thrive at. Okay.
Okay.
And the question is, do you think Wanda dies in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? And since you don't like your heroes to make it out alive, I wanted to start with you and see your thoughts. Do you think Wanda makes it out of it?
No, and I'll tell you why. I think she is. I'm just being honest. Like it's either her or Doctor Strange. One, I'm dying. So I don't know.
What?
One, I'm dying. It ain't.
They ain't dying. You on some crack over here,
Right.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Trayvon always thinks someone's gonna die in these movies.
Always, bro.
First
of all,
it's
Doctor Strange's second movie. He's already trying to kill him.
Y'all are rude.
I mean, he'd have been in like 5 movies. It's all right, you know.
Wow.
He's not gonna die,
Wow.
but okay.
No, look. I love magic stuff. I'd rather for, of course, both of them not to die, of course. But we're looking at Wanda here, okay? She's obviously lost it. Okay. So I think the only way we're gonna stop her is she has to die or trap her somewhere. Maybe he'll trap her in one of the little things, like like he did in the What If show. Maybe that's what'll happen. Either that or she dies. One of them. You gotta do something with her. Like I don't know. Yeah. Like it ain't no calming her down. Like, oh hey, we Avengers again. Nah, I don't think that's going on.
I will say this, Didge, because you are new to the GVN Talk family. I will say Trevon felt very passionate about the fact that Hawkeye.
They tried
called Hawkeye. So
he was getting replaced.
I'm just saying he was not replaced.
Who's getting replaced?
He was kind of replaced.
He got replaced.
He just retired. That was it.
Oh no, I'm not saying that he should. I'm not saying that he should.
I didn't say,
but he kind of got replaced.
You trying to make it seem like I wanted him to die. I just assumed he would. I didn't say I wanted him to.
The next major event, you're not gonna see both Hawkeyes out there. Like
how would you know? Oh, hold on. Why wouldn't they both be there?
Time out. Let me say this. I know a lot of people base it off of the idea of she takes on the name Hawkeye, right? But I do just want to make it very known to people. They fought together all the time, and it was just Clint and Kate. The name Hawkeye wasn't being said amongst
fair.
them. It's just
that is
Kate
fair.
Clint. Like his legal name is not Hawkeye, and then he's giving her his legal name. So I'm like, they can fight together and just go, oh, that's Clint and Kate. How you guys doing?
That is fair. That is fair. But if we being honest, neither of them really need to be there at the next big event. Like if we go in space and we going multiverse,
not doing something crazy.
Do we really want somebody with a bow and arrow out there?
Arrows ain't helping. Arrows ain't.
Wait.
I'm to be honest.
They had explosive arrows though.
In these crazy events then too.
Listen.
Wait, say that again.
I can cut out a lot of people.
Batman in these crazy events too then.
No.
No, I didn't. I'm be honest, I didn't.
He was doing. He was on the side. You see him on the side.
Juwaan, I think I agree with you.
I respect Batman for what he do.
With you.
But I don't know if we need. Like, I respect Batman for what he did, but no, if we keeping it real, he shouldn't have been there either.
So I guess Batman didn't whoop Superman's ass, but okay, we're going to
plot armor.
Time out. Let's not even go there. I think people because they just look at Batman on the surface level, like they never really go into Batman. I think people forget Batman, with the help of Wonder Woman, built a suit of armor.
I was waiting for you to say that.
The more he uses it. But the man still said, I'm a nut up and I'm gonna suit up and I'm gonna go fight Darkseid.
I mean, I didn't say he wouldn't be crazy enough to do it. I'm just saying maybe he,
I
mean,
he is nuts. Obviously, Batman is nuts, so it's fine.
First of all, we're not gonna treat Batman. We are not going to treat Batman like he Plastic Man. That's first of all what we do.
Okay, first of all,
we ain't going to do that.
Where Plastic Man even come from?
Because if you want to think of something that's like useless if you're fighting Darkseid, yes, it's the guy that can expand.
Listen. Batman has gone up against Darkseid and he's beaten him. He's bested him before.
Right.
So
going up against
Yes,
or
yes.
outsmarted. Let's
That's still the
Same
same
shit.
thing.
clarify.
Shit.
Let's clarify.
Same shit.
That
It's
is
a head.
Same
Hey,
shit.
He ain't making it.
No, same shit. Because if we're talking about Justice League Apocalypse, because that's what I'm referencing, right? He puts on the armor, right?
He said going against or outsmarting him. What?
Like, I'm just upset. Like, I'm upset that you said that. Like, no. Right? Like, he puts
Trayvon,
on
I'm
the
sorry,
armor.
man.
Okay,
That is the dumbest
all of
thing
that.
you
He
have ever
deals, he
said
goes
on this.
head on
Let
with
me preface
him.
this. I'm not the biggest Batman fan, okay? So, like, you know,
No,
whatever.
it's not even
Oh,
that.
dude.
You really said
No. Hold on. Time out. You can't. No, Trayvon.
Or I would just.
I'm catching on now, Trayvon. You can't keep hopping in this ring. And then when we go around, you go, I don't even really box. You step in the ring.
I don't really care about Batman like that.
No,
talk
but you
about
can't. But
Hawkeye,
you can't be
and
making
y'all broke
claims
him
like
in it.
that.
Cause he's just like Hawkeye.
No,
No,
he is not.
no.
Don't
See,
you dare.
I'm not a
Absolutely
big
not. And I love
Batman fan
Hawkeye.
either.
Listen,
But no,
don't
we
start.
ain't finna put Batman on the same level as Hawkeye. That's disrespectful to
I
Batman.
mean, he got
That is
brung into
rude.
the same conversation, right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
And he shouldn't have.
That was. I shouldn't have felt because I should have stopped it there. That was my fault. I fell for that bait.
Goodness gracious. All right.
Bunch of
As
kids over
Mr.
there.
E said in the comments, this is going to get real tense for sure.
Wilding
But
out
Trayvon,
here.
you believe that either Strange, even though the movie is Doctor Strange, you believe he'll die in his own.
Let me clear this out one more time. Okay. I do not want them to die.
No.
I just do
time
not know
out.
what they are going to do with Wanda.
But
Like,
time
honestly.
out. I get it. You're not saying like, oh, they're definitely going to die. I get it. But you even thinking two characters of that much importance will die possibly in the same movie? Trayvon, come on, man.
I didn't say both of them. I said one or the other.
Listen, it
Either
could
one
happen.
of them dying is
It could happen.
wild.
If he dies,
Trayvon,
she
I'm
wins
happy
in the
you're
end.
not in the
Cool.
story group with Marvel because you won't know what to do. You be like, hey, let's just kill them off.
Well,
then.
time out.
I'm here to watch. I'm here to watch,
fair,
not come up with
Trayvon,
this.
To be fair, in a recent interview, Feige
These
did
people are much
say,
smarter than me, okay?
but to be fair, in a recent interview, Feige did say how important Wanda will be going.
He keeps saying that by every character, you know.
Going for well, I mean, he's only killed 2 people.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see some stakes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, he killed.
Some stakes.
Tony did lose a lot. Tony did lose a lot. He did. But what did killing Captain America do?
Tony got killed because
he did kill
Robert
Natasha
was too
too.
expensive. That's
right.
What he did.
But stakes don't exist.
Okay. He did kill Natasha.
Saying you want stakes in a superhero movie is like saying you want stakes in a soap opera. That's not what they're there for. The idea is to suspend belief, which means Tony could die.
Suspend belief and kill both of them then.
We get him back. No one needs to die.
Why we want both of them to die now? It was bad
comic
enough
book.
when he was.
I didn't say that. For the record, I did not say that. Okay? I didn't say that. Okay, so for the record, I didn't say that. All right,
y'all trying to turn the movie into a massacre. Y'all, everybody dies.
I mean,
if it, if it,
that wouldn't.
if it
I
works.
mean,
this is Trayvon. I didn't say I wanted this, but I want this. That's basically what he's saying.
I didn't say I wanted it. I said what I expect.
What he's saying.
I said what I expect. Y'all trying to put words in my mouth. I did not say that.
Let's pass it around. Tristan, I'll go to you. Do you think Wanda will die in Doctor Strange?
No, I don't think she'll die. I do think it'd be interesting, especially because in my mind, and I've said this before, like I really want the Young Avengers, and I'm wondering like, how will they like? What will I don't see her being around for Tommy and Billy, Wiccan and Speed initially. So I'm like, I don't think she'll die, but I think she'll be sent somewhere, like get trapped somewhere. Somebody mentioned that earlier. I do see something like that happening, but she's kind of away from the.
Well, okay, so AJ, you might be right here with me. So I think we're looking at it on surface, right? So where all the trailers makes it seem like Wanda's gone evil, Strange has to stop her, right? I think in my mind, there's always someone behind what's motivating Wanda, right? So I think once you solve that, Wanda has made it very clear she can just dip low whenever, right? Westview happened. She not bought a cabin. She manipulated a cabin and she was just isolated, right? So I could see the events of this. If the events of this movie ends in mutants, I could see her going with the mutants to go live amongst the mutants and kind of like isolate herself. Or if not, just kind of find somewhere far away to be with her kids till something has to bring her back to the Avengers.
should she be allowed to do that? I just feel like, okay, so I feel like she is. I'm just saying, okay, look, I'm just saying, okay, she is. I'm not saying she's evil, but her power is out of control. I feel like she
I'm
is.
out. I just got a small question before you even finish. I
Losing
just
it.
got a small question for you.
Oh,
You're
Lord.
excited
asking,
to see
you're
her
asking
losing it.
after the events of everything she's done, right? So my question to you would be, just a yes or no. So I can move on. I can move to Didge, get his thoughts. Did we or did we not have a show last year called Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Would you equate what Wanda's done to what the fuck the Winter Soldier spent years doing? That man has so much blood on his ledger, and he's an Avenger.
No. Hold on now. He was definitely brainwashed to do those things.
Bro, that's what the Darkhold does. That's what that book does. It
No, she knew what she was doing in Westview. That's not. We're not gonna do that now.
So we're equating.
No, there ain't no manipulation now. Stop it.
So we're equating manipulation, right, to mass murders, and the only difference is, well, science made you like that.
That was not manipulation. That was brainwashing. It was literally brainwashing.
Brainwashing is part of science. What are you?
No. We're not. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. She wasn't put to sleep.
All I'm saying is Wanda killed nobody.
Oh, okay. Trevon, let me ask you this then. If someone had brainwashing powers, would that count?
Kids? Are you serious?
It's called manipulation, though.
Wow. So okay. All right.
Tony lost
I see where you at. That wasn't his fault either. Don't do that. No, that wasn't Winter Soldier's fault. No, not doing that. No.
Interesting.
You're picking and choosing. That's very awesome.
No, I'm not. He was brainwashed. There's a difference. Whatever, man. Whatever. You just hate them. You hate talking to Winter Soldier. We already know that. It's fine.
No.
Damn.
Agatha dropped her own diss track saying, yo, it was me manipulating things all along. And Trevon's like, no, manipulation doesn't work because it's magic. Only science can be manipulation. I don't understand that.
When did I say that? When did I say that?
You legit.
We legit just said that if he was
y'all just okay, whatever.
Why wasn't she brainwashed? Didge, I'll go to you. Do you think Wanda's gonna end up dying?
No, I don't think so. I think along the lines of sort of how you were saying, wherever this ends, I think she is gonna realize that like her powers are still probably a little too out of control, and she goes self-isolate to probably bring that back into order until the next big thing happens. I don't see them killing anybody major in a movie like this. I think they wait for the big tentpole ones, like when they're bringing everybody together again.
Yeah. I mean, look, to me, I kind of feel like there needs to be moments through time that kind of just bookmark a saga or a legacy. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you look at the original trilogy of Star Wars. What book ended that? The death of Obi-Wan, right? That was like, oh my God, like we don't even know who this character is, and like you already took him. And then we saw throughout history how much Obi-Wan meant to that story. So then you go to Marvel and you're like, well, Stark or Cap had to go at that point because it needed to bookmark something that we can look back and go, damn, that legacy ended there, right? I'm just saying, I look at superheroes and the idea that they could come back through numerous different reasons is why I'm like, well, I don't need you to kill off any of my heroes. The stakes could be things that affect their lives, things that affect Earth, the universe, the multiverse. Those could be the stakes. I mean, look, Aunt May died, right? A lot of people didn't want Aunt May to die. They just wanted it as simple as Aunt May survived. It's just Peter and Aunt May and everyone else forgot about him, right? To me, I'm like, well, that's the same thing as, to me, that's the same stakes as anything that Clint went through, right? Ultimately, no one wanted anyone in that family to die. They just wanted things to end properly for Clint. So to me, my stakes don't need to be that drastic to where I'm just like, well, damn, in Hawkeye, I done lost Hawkeye. In Black Widow, I done lost Black Widow. In Doctor Strange, I done lost Doctor Strange. God damn, who's gonna be left, you know? Like,
listen, sometimes loss is good for the soul.
What?
He's here.
Ooh. that was one of those things where it just came out before the filter came on.
I for sure can tell because I'm just
But the
picturing Ash.
context was in the context of movies, not in life. People,
Oh, okay.
we don't.
Okay,
in
I was about to
movies.
say. I'm just picturing Ash. I'm
No,
picturing
and-
Ash showing up to someone's funeral, just like, "Hey, this is what?" And then just walking away, like, "What the hell was that?"
Wait, have y'all ever been
man.
to a black funeral? They low key say stuff like that, like, "Oh, it's a home going" and all kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they-
you're not wrong.
No,
Yeah.
that's more soothing than it's supposed to happen.
It's okay.
Yo, Solo, thank
okay.
you for this.
Yeah, don't even worry.
Okay, I meant in the context of movies. Okay, it was just a real awkward pause and laughter. So let it go.
Oh, I'm
Next-
sorry.
next-
I just pictured
God.
Ash walk by, like, you know how much better life is gonna get now. It's like, wait, what? What was that? Ash, do you think Wanda's making it out of this Doctor Strange too?
I don't know. Like, I'm in the boat that someone needs to die. I'm sorry. I am.
What?
Yeah, there
I
are
wanna
people gonna die in the movie. All the unnamed characters that's in the movie, sure.
Yeah.
Or
So
They
like,
will die.
the Illuminati.
or-
You'll get the Illuminati
I mean,
members that die.
yeah, like I already said, I
Ultron
want
bomb.
Wanda to fuck shit up. I want her to be on her bad bitch era. And she has to face the consequences of that. May that be death or something else. We don't know.
Y'all real Shakespearean today, huh? Like
Something
goodness
else.
The greatest
gracious.
I have no
tragedy
more
is
comments.
death.
Everybody's against me. It's fine.
Y'all are just real Shakespeare. Y'all want Strange and Wanda to go out like Romeo and Juliet.
No, I want them both to
no.
survive. Everything fine. Happy movie. Yeah. That's what I want.
Yes,
That's
there
what I
we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I think they'll kill Rachel McAdams' character. What's her name? She was in the first Doctor
Well, I
Strange
mean, there
movie.
you go, Tristan. You ain't even got to say nothing else.
She ain't even
I don't
important
even know her
though.
name. Let her die.
She ain't,
I
she
think
ain't
that-
important. Kill
Wait, I
somebody
think
of importance.
she's his last link to like his normal old life. So I think killing her on a symbolic level would work. Like he's fully let that life go.
If they do that, you have a lot of work on your hands for this second movie. Because remember, they didn't have a romantic relationship in the first one. The first one just ends with them just being really good friends. So I'm like, if you're gonna
some hints in there.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
some hints that they had a past.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you haven't made her important enough to where it's like you kill her, I would go, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, just speaking from not seeing the movie, obviously, if you told me, yo, Juwaan, she don't make it out, I would go.
But then again, it's not
like,
then yeah, I get what you're saying, but then again, it's not necessarily for us. It's like for him, it would be a major thing. Like, so even if they don't make it like a huge moment, even if it, I mean, I don't know. I can see it like for him, it would obviously like, I don't know, mess him up or whatever.
Quick question. What happened? Remind me, because it's been a while and I've forgotten. What happened at the end of Loki with the TVA?
oh, it's a
Sylvie
new TVA.
killed. Sylvie killed.
Go ahead, AJ.
Sylvie killed the man with no name.
Okay, so the TVA, all of the, what do you call it? The variants and all of them. What's happening with the variants?
Oh, there's
Looks like it
variants
was-
everywhere. Because
It looks like he's
Loki
in a
right now
different
is
one
like-
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in a
Are they
different
getting
TVA.
punished,
Kane.
trapped? Are they getting punished or trapped or sent somewhere, for that still, like they were, or no?
I don't
just
know.
need to clarify.
The
I
TVA
think
is being
so.
run differently now. It's being run by, we assume, Kang. So I don't know if Kang has a necessity to go and purge variants. That's what he who, damn, what's his name, AJ?
He
Who
remains.
He
Yeah,
remains.
he who remains. That was his philosophy of you can't have duplicates, so you got to go purge, right? I don't know if that's Kang's mindset. Is Kang
Yeah.
let him run wild? I don't
It's
care.
a different character.
Because the reason why I asked, right, because in the trailer, right, we see Wanda, or maybe that's her astral projected. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not that familiar with Wanda, the Marvel comics, so
That's
give me a thing.
I get
But
you.
when she's like kneeling on the floor, or whatever, and then there's that version of her looking over her, getting ready to touch her, whatever. I assume it's either an astral projection or whatever, or that is a variant version of her, right?
Mhm.
I'm wondering if Doctor Strange, and I'm just thinking about what we saw in Loki, and then a little bit of what I heard about What If, because I didn't watch that, and everything. I'm wondering if in Doctor Strange, right? That Wanda becomes like a Nexus event, right? Where something like there's something that happens and like she has to like, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
she
I
is
the
a
stakes.
Nexus being.
Yeah.
So
but I will say, because I get what you're trying to say, I do think we will have a type of House of M moment, just not the actual House of M moment where she's like whispering no more mutants. So I do believe
love
I want to
that
see
moment.
that. I want to see that in live action. I'm sorry. When y'all were saying
you
that she
can't-
goes to join the move, when she goes to
The
join the
other way
mutants, if
around.
that happened,
Yeah, you
mutants go to join?
can't you can't go back to that well now. You're essentially doing her
Oh.
House of M story right now. So to go
I wish we
back,
could have got that live action.
I
That
wish
was-
you could have gotten. I was gonna say that. I wish you would have gotten it because that
I mean,
that would have been
look,
beautiful.
There weren't any
I'll-
mutants to
I'll
start
say
with,
this.
though.
I'll
Yeah,
say
fair.
this, as
True.
much as you want it, I promise you, once this arc of Wanda's is done, it won't matter to you, and here's why. Civil War was one of my favorite, I mean, all-time favorite Avengers stories, right? When you see the movie Civil War and you see how it's just drastically nothing like what you read, right? Outside of just Cap versus Iron Man, you kind of get over it because they executed it so well.
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, I know you didn't have these pieces on the board, but you were able to do what you could. I mean, hell, even Stark revealing Peter to the world, he did that in a Spider-Man movie, not in Civil War. So I thought that was just like, okay, I see you just putting pieces of the Civil War comic in different spots. So I think House of M will just be done slightly different. But the essence of it will still feel the same. And that's why I'm saying, I think once her arc is all said and done, you guys will be like, you know what? I did want Whispering No More Mutants, but what they did instead was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, listen, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna take what I get. Okay.
I did
But
also want to speak
it's a wish
to
list.
your point of astral projection. So, as far as I know, astral projection is purely what you saw her do in the end of WandaVision and what you see Strange do. It doesn't take a physical manifestation. So I think that's just a multiverse Wanda. Now the question is, which one of those Wandas in the trailer is the real Wanda? Because everyone assumes the Scarlet Witch get up is the real Wanda. We don't know. We do not know. We do not know. Wanda could snap out of it halfway through it, and the actual villain or the threat is the multiverse Wanda that becomes the Scarlet Witch. So it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how far they go with this. And look, we thought Spider-Man, having just 3 Spider-Men, was just like, bro, my world's never been the same. This movie bringing all the characters that they're about to bring is just going to be, I can't even fathom. AJ, last one. Now, the question I want to ask you is, because I know you don't think Wanda's going to die, but the question I want to ask you is, you know how we all thought, like, okay, we saw the poster of Doctor Strange. We know Chthon's coming. Chthon obviously was Wanda's magic daddy, right? So we figured that's what was coming, right? So why would you just text me and say I hated it? Anyway, a lot of people are thinking it's not Chthon. It's one of the characters in the figure line for Doctor Strange that just came out. He's in white and black. Hold on, I can pull up his name. But anyway, Despair. Thank you. Yes, Despair. Thank you, Trevon. I don't like that because I think you're reaching if it's Despair, because Chthon is right there, right? He's legit right there for you to utilize. You've already shown the cow in WandaVision. Remember, he was the little ad in the supermarket, the animated supermarket episode. So I'm like, it's right there. How upset would you be, AJ, if it's not Chthon, knowing we didn't get Mephisto, knowing that they're not going to use Chthon, if they do go Despair? Would that kind of like, well, you got the Darkhold, it's all right there.
I don't know. I to be honest, I wouldn't care who it would be, because to me, it just, for me at least, it makes sense for either one. Many people think it's Nightmare. Many people think it's Chthon. Many people think it's Despair. It's, to me, they could use any one of those characters to make them the big bad in this movie, and it'll make sense to me because each one of them have could be able to manipulate Wanda or manipulate anybody else to manipulate Wanda. You can go down a rabbit hole with this, but to me, it doesn't really matter who the character is. So yeah,
I hope it's Chthon. Chthon just makes the most sense. Everything is right there. The creator of the Darkhold, obviously, he gave Wanda her magic. It's literally right there. And to me, I'm thinking like Despair. I think Chthon could be the best looking villain, knowing that Sam Raimi is the director, knowing that horror is his background. I think he would have a lot of fun with Chthon. I think people are honing in on Nightmare just because of Strange's one line of, yeah, I had a nightmare. And they're like, oh, well, it has to be that, right? And it's like, well, no, I mean, he could just literally just be having nightmares. All right, let's move on. All right, Didge, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Feige saying Endgame is the last Avengers movie?
I don't think he's telling the truth. I think he's literally saying it'll be the last Avengers movie in the sense that I have that in the title, but you're going to get what is essentially an Avengers movie, but it has a different title.
That's fair. I just took it simply as that's the last Avengers movie for that saga. Like, we're moving on.
Yeah. Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you've done what, 4? And you're saying like, all right, we've had enough. No more calling them Avengers. We're done with that. They're not Avengers anymore. That's weird. Especially when we know there's so much more ground to cover before you get to the end. You know what I'm saying? Which is Galactus. We are so far away from that. So to say after 4, technically 4.5 if you count Civil War, you're like, I'm done. No more Avengers movies. You know, you got shit out of luck. Just take single movies and event movies that aren't labeled Avengers. That's, to me, weird. Tristian, what are your thoughts? Do you think we're reading too much into it, or do you think it's as simple as he was right? There's no more Avengers movies.
Yeah, I agree that I think they won't call them Avengers movies, just like with what Captain America Civil War, how that was pretty much an Avengers movie, but it was, yeah. I feel like we'll definitely get more team ups with all the characters. They just won't call it Avengers or something like that.
I mean, if that's true, I can't wait to see why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. The Avengers literally broke up, and you still call those movies the Avengers. So I'm like, now that a small group of them are still together trying to keep the Avengers still tight, you're just like, we'll think of something else. You're not Avengers. Ash, do you think we've seen our last Avengers movie?
I agree with everyone. I don't think it's going to be like Avengers in the sense of like how Avengers has been in the past, but it will still follow, right, the same philosophies, right, of the Avengers there. So I think we'll get more, but it won't be like, oh, this is an Avengers movie. It's like, no, these are like the people who are part of it. And it's like, whatever. So that's where I'm at.
I mean, yeah, I could totally see we get an announcement before the end of this year that the Russo brothers are returning to direct, and they just call it Secret Wars. It's not Avengers Secret Wars. It's just called Secret Wars, which is fair if they want to just do event level movies that require the Avengers, but it's not an Avengers movie. Again, it's all about in how they explain it. And if we know one thing, Kevin can explain the hell out of anything when it comes to Marvel. So if any of this is true, I'm just waiting till he explains it to where I can go, okay, I guess. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Trevon, what are your thoughts? You think we've seen our last Avengers movie?
Maybe. You know, I guess it don't really matter. I mean, I'm just excited to see the team ups. I assume we'll see some form of, I guess, Midnight Suns, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they'll call them, but I mean, like you said, maybe just call it Secret Wars, or maybe just, it could be a lot of stuff they could do with it. It doesn't have to be called Avengers. And who is actually appointing Avengers at this point? So I don't know.
Well, we saw our core group. So our core group as of now is Wong, because he's the Sorcerer Supreme, Captain Marvel, and Bruce. Because remember, they just initiated Shang-Chi into joining the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
So they're the
That's
faces
true.
right now. They're the faces currently of the Avengers. I'm very curious because you guys know how much I hate the actor, but the character. I'm very curious that when Sam comes in and he's just like, well, I'm Captain America now. And Long's just like, that don't mean shit to me. Like, you weren't here when we were recruiting.
That's what you want it to be. I think.
No, I'm
Also-
saying I'm
also,
curious how
Juwaan,
that works.
He'll be respected.
Juwaan, quick question. You couldn't just say when Sam comes in. You just had to throw that little
Right.
jab.
He had to.
I had to make it
Like,
clear that I'm
like,
not
it-
supporting the actor. I'm supporting the character. So yes, yeah.
Mm.
I'm just waiting for a scandal to happen so they can recast. Anyway, next question. Mr. E says if Wolverine is reintroduced in the MCU, he would like for him to be a straight up villain before becoming a hero. But if you had your way, how would he be introduced? To me, Wolverine should never be a villain. Ever be a villain. His ideologies could be something that you look at and you're like, well, that's not necessarily what a hero would do. But you're not. It's like watching Venom, right? So where you're watching the movie and you're like, well, clearly good guys don't eat people, but he's here for good, right? He's not here to take over the world, mass murder, none of that. So I want Wolverine to ride that line, but that's why I think his first movie should be Weapon X. Should be the team, should be him, should be Wade. Should be Agent Zero, should be Sabretooth. And it's about their adventures before he realizes all this just insane. It's like Peacemaker, when you watch Peacemaker. It's where after a while, he's just like, why am I doing this? Maybe I should just branch off, think on my own, become my own man. And then that's when we see Logan wander off to become part of the X-Men. But yeah, I would start off with Weapon X and then just move on from there. AJ, how would you start off Wolverine's MCU introduction?
Jesus Christ. I don't know. Honestly, I don't want Wolverine right now. I don't know.
Exactly. Same.
That's something I'll have to think more about. Honestly,
You don't want Wolverine right now? I didn't mean like tomorrow.
I know what you meant. I just don't know how. I don't know how I would start Wolverine out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need him tomorrow either. But whenever he joins, how did you want him to pop in? Did you want him to just, hey, what's up? I'm here. All right. No, I agree though. I think you should start off with the OG X-Men. Like the actual OG X-Men. Finally establish Cyclops as the leader of the X-Men. Stop making it Charles all the time. It's Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men. Make that. Would you say?
Technically, he's the captain of the X-Men, not the leader.
He's 100% the leader.
He's
Bro,
the captain.
I can't even name how many times I've seen Xavier lead the charge. I've seen Scott lead the charge. You're
That's
the leader.
being a captain.
Sometimes
That's
the
a
leader
captain.
doesn't always need to be at the front. Sometimes you need to know
What the
where
hell
you need
kind of
to
leader
be.
is that?
That's a captain, Juwaan. There's a difference between
That's
captain
a
and
leader.
That's a captain.
Bruh. Presidents used to have to fight wars, AJ. Those were leaders of men. Bruh,
And look what
now
happened
you're
to
just
them.
like, yo, y'all go out there and do that. That's not a leader.
That's literally how it works.
That's not a leader. No, you lead by example. You go out
Look,
there.
okay, let's put this in a sports analogy. You have the captain of the team, which is a player. Then you have the coach, which is technically the leader.
Hell no.
You don't see the coach
Yes.
playing
Hell
basketball
no.
with the team.
Hell
Yes.
no.
Yes.
that
I-
works.
Quarterback
yes.
is
That
always
works
the
a
leader.
lot. That
Yes.
works a
It
lot.
does.
Yes.
The quarterback is
That
always
works a
the
lot.
leader.
In context of
Nope.
X-Men, yeah, that works.
No, the quarterback is the captain.
Quarterback
Yeah.
is the leader.
The coach
Coach-
is the leader.
The coach is
Yeah.
the leader.
Yeah, the coach is.
The coach is the leader.
Nah, my leader needs to lead by example.
So
Sorry.
the coach.
Lead
you
by
go to-
example.
let me.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh wait,
The coach
Charles
is
Xavier wasn't
the
out there
leader.
fighting like that in the X-Men movies.
That's my point. That's why he wouldn't be my leader.
Because he was
But
behind the scenes getting shit
he was
done.
leading them telling them, hey, this is what y'all need to do.
Yeah,
Nah, that's
Exactly.
a strategist.
I'm
That's
confused.
what Fury does.
I'm so
That's a
confused.
strategist.
Hey, Juwaan,
That's what a
Juwaan,
leader
you're being
does.
like Trevon at this point now. Come on now.
Bro, that's a strategist. That ain't a leader.
In
Come
the basic, ain't it in the name? Like, they not the Cyclops men.
Exactly.
Like,
That don't mean nothing. That you have the name of the team.
so
That
you
makes
saying
you a
if you was
leader?
leading the team, you would be cool with it being somebody else's name?
For sure. I'm leaving.
I wouldn't.
You can't do it
I-
without
I-
me.
That's a Juwaan, you know that is a goddamn lie.
I
That
don't
is
know
a
what the Scott
goddamn
men
lie.
looks like. I don't know what Scott men or Cyclops men look like. X-Men kind of got a ring to it.
Goddamn lie.
Yeah, you can pay for everything, but you ain't the leader. Nigga, that's exactly what Stark said. Stark said, I'm not the leader of this team. That's Cap. I just pay for everything. That's legit what he said. Yeah, all right, crickets. Yeah, all
Wait,
right.
no. Excuse me. Don't even. Don't
Don't entertain it anymore. Let him believe what he believes.
Let's just move on. Let's move on because
let's move on.
I'm like, am I misunderstanding the X-Men?
No, no, we can't let him win. I'm sorry. No. Absolutely not. Not in this house.
It's okay. Juwaan doesn't know the difference between a leader and a captain. It's fine.
I mean, he doesn't.
Let's leave it.
No, you don't know the difference between a leader and a captain.
All right, if y'all say so. All I'm saying is presidents used to fight wars, and they were called leaders because they were a leader of men. You were actually
do they fight wars now?
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't call them the leaders. I wouldn't call them the leaders now. It's just a name. It's just a name. You're not actually a leader. You're not actually a leader.
So you mean to tell me in order to be a leader, you got to put your body on the line and all of that? You can't just...
No. Because leader could be for so many different things. But Ash, you're a teacher. If I came in and tried to tell you how to teach without me being certified as a teacher, would you ever listen to me?
No, why would I?
Wait, do you have class
presidents telling you how to
wait, do you have class
how does that
presidents?
No. So how does that connect? Because we can bring back the sports analogy as well.
You want me to bring it to Scott?
No. Let me bring the football, right? Okay. This football, not the American football, right? Just gotta
the
real football.
Right?
Okay.
You have the players, right? And you have the managers, right? The players and the managers are completely different. The managers, they're going to give the players the lineup. They're going to give them their position where they need to play. They're going to give them the tactical moves. They're even going to, if you're Pep Guardiola, the GOAT, you're even going to yell at your players, right? What?
No, keep going, Nash. Don't get distracted.
Okay. Right?
I thought maybe Ronaldo fell off the face of the earth.
Excuse me, please. Ronaldo what? Ronaldo cost his team a point today. Don't start with me.
Okay.
Don't start.
Okay,
Don't start.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
Ronaldo.
So you have the coach, right? Who is going to give them, their orders, right? They have their halftime. Who sits down and then talks to the players about what they need to do? The captain or the coach? The coach gives them the strategies that they need to do. Their captains then says, boom, 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 guys, we got to go out there. We got to do this. Let's go. But how are they going to know what to do and how to get out there and do it if the coach isn't then telling them what to do, right? When a coach gets a red card and they get sent to the stands, they don't make the captain the leader. They go to the assistant coach because that is the leader. So I'm just telling you, you can't. And that's my sports and that's my football analogy.
I appreciate it. I think you're completely wrong, but let's move on.
You know what? It is the Nile is a river in Egypt, and you are drowning. You are drowning in it.
Juwaan, you're the new Trevon right now. That's all I have to say.
Hold on. Why y'all keep doing that to me?
Why you disrespecting Trevon? That's rude.
I'm not like that.
He's like, no,
I'm not like that.
But you win.
I don't dismiss y'all like that.
You're a winner right now.
It wasn't dismissive. I just
wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
I could argue my point
You're just upset because you got outsmarted logically.
Outsmarted? I don't feel that at all. I just believe we have two different viewing.
And your view is wrong.
Leader. That's it.
We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 out of 7 people are right, and you're the outlier.
So, wait,
I know I do English, but
wait. So I'm wrong.
Check my math
because the numbers say so. That's why I'm
don't
wrong.
don't even start with me.
Okay.
Go to the next question. Hi, Jamie.
What was that line? Black
Jamie.
So if everyone's
Jamie, was talking shit about
jumping off the bridge, you're gonna jump with them. Got you. Okay.
I'm not surprised.
I'm ready for the next topic over here.
We do welcome in Jamie. What's up, Jamie?
I would like to feel welcome, but apparently you're just talking junk. So
yeah, Jamie, you're late. How dare you?
See,
I was filming my movie. I'll have you know. I took time off of that to be here. You're
You
welcome.
tell him.
Oh, fancy.
Exactly.
Fancy, okay.
Look, I didn't say a word. That's AJ. That's player hater AJ. Always.
You didn't say
was
nothing
just
to
saying
my face.
Exactly.
To my face.
I mean, I
I didn't say
could.
anything behind your back.
I mean, I could.
Mhm.
Yes, you
Say
did.
anything.
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna check the
I
You
said
VOD.
said we gotta
one
leave
word.
some of the
Check
player
VOD.
hating for Jamie.
Yes.
I remember that.
So everyone felt as though they got the same amount of player hating. That's all I said. I didn't say save it because Jamie's late. I just said save it so Jamie feels part of the group. That's it.
Excuses.
You gotta hate on everybody. That's all.
don't
all right, let's
discriminate.
read some of these comments. When I say villain, I'm talking about Logan figuring himself out. In my version, he doesn't know who he is, and it's just simply a weapon. Feel emotional attachment due to the horrible treatment. But that's why I see it more so as like an anti-hero, starting off with Weapon X, then a straight up villain. It won't be until he meets Bruce Banner, Hulk, or even Spider-Man that he begins to soften up, so to speak. When he finally meets the X-Men, he becomes the Wolverine we all know and love. Mr. E is very happy that you're here, Jamie, but wants to also express that you're late.
Let's go.
So clearly AJ just changed his name. That's what happened there.
What?
I like Mr. E over here.
No.
Sean Paul said quarterbacks are leaders. Tell Tom Brady he's only a captain. Sean, I'm not going to continue to go down that way. but look, someone else sees it. So that's 2 against the 6 of y'all. So the numbers are starting to get there. All right. Let's move on. Trevon, I want to start off with you. What are your thoughts on the rumored World War Hulk film? Is it too late to do that storyline? If it's true, of course. If you're not familiar with the storyline, let me know.
I don't know. I've heard of it. I think. I don't know. I mean, time to give me the quick little.
I'll give you the broad strokes. So in World War Hulk was when the Illuminati determined that Bruce Banner and the Hulk were too dangerous to stay on Earth. So they shot him off into space. And instead of it landing on the planet it was supposed to, he hulked out, busted out of the thing, and landed on a planet that essentially was the entire essence of Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
So Thor Ragnarok was the essence of World War Hulk. It's why they made sure they put Hulk somewhere in there. Right. So to me, to do World War Hulk again, especially after Bruce has tamed himself, became my brother, you know what I'm saying? And now he's then figured out how to go between human and Hulk. Mm-hmm. Why would you then turn him into a Savage Hulk again, only to launch him back into space to do what we just did? You know what I'm saying? So again, if the rumor is true, to me, I'm going to be very intrigued to see how Feige works that, because it's a storyline that if you weren't going to do right the first time, just don't do it. Like, you didn't have to mix Ragnarok with World War Hulk. You could have just did a World War Hulk movie with Universal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see this Hulk doing that unless something terrible happens at the end of the Multiverse of Madness that screws up reality as we know it, and things are not as we expect at the end of it. That's the only way I can see it. Like, somehow some stuff gets rewritten, or like.
I'll give you context, Trevon. I'll give you context before you finish. Let me give you context. If this is true, the rumor says that the end of She-Hulk will lead into World War Hulk. So the context is, because remember, from the small little snippet that we saw, Bruce is there and Bruce seems fine, right? Like, we see him in human form. He seems fine. Right. So it's very wild to believe that this Bruce Banner becomes that Hulk again. I think World War Hulk would have worked better if Edward Norton's Hulk did that, and then you recast it into Mark Ruffalo, and then you went on to the story that you did. That way, we got all the Savage Hulk out. He came back to Earth, tried to tear apart the Avengers, didn't work. Bruce is fine now. But now to kind of go backwards is like, didn't we put this genie in the bottle? So now, like, do we have to go dig up Black Widow so she can tell him it's getting real low? You know what I'm saying? Is that what we got to do? Seems like that's what we got to do if you're going backwards. Right. So just to give you context of, like, it's supposed to happen after She-Hulk.
I don't know. That's supposed to be like This was like a comedic show. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever. You know,
No,
whatever. I don't know.
I'm right with you. I'm lock and step with you, man. It
I don't
doesn't
know.
off of just the name and knowing how expansive that story was, right? Like he went to the moon and was fighting Black Bolt one-on-one, and then came to Earth, was trying to kill the Avengers, the X-Men. He was on a warpath. He became almost like Super Saiyan Hulk. So I'm like, that's a storyline. If you're gonna do, you got to do it right. I want him to fight Black Bolt on the moon. Want him to come here and fight the Avengers and the X-Men. AJ, you know, that was one of my favorite battles of Juggernaut and the Hulk, where Juggernaut got to actually use his real power, like his real power. A lot of people think Juggernaut is just big like that with the suit. Like, no, there's more to Juggernaut. Enough that he thought he could square up with the Hulk. Didn't work though.
Wanda can mess with his mind.
What are you gonna say?
Wanda can mess with his mind. I don't know.
It
For
doesn't
sure.
work. Mind control doesn't work on Worldbreaker Hulk.
No. Trayvon's
This
saying,
Hulk.
saying
this guy
he could mess with Bruce Banner and turn him
Got
into
you.
crazy Hulk. Yeah, I got you. Like she did in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she made him go completely bananas. That would have been the perfect time to shoot his ass off into space. You know?
Well, that means we
they
wouldn't
did it,
have gotten
like,
Hulkbuster.
voluntarily. Say it again.
I said that means we wouldn't have gotten Hulkbuster.
No. I'm saying after Tony stopped him, they then sent him off into space instead of him leaving on his own. I thought that was weird. I'm like, you didn't do anything. Like, how the hell do you save the day and then go, I'm too dangerous to stay here? What? You just saved everybody. Like, the time would have been after Africa for you to take your ass out of here. Tristian, how do you view it? Do you think it's too late to try to do that storyline?
Yeah, I think it's too late. I don't think it's necessary. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not really interested in seeing I like Hulk being with the rest of the group. I don't know if I'm not really interested in seeing a Hulk story like where he's by himself doing something. I don't know why. I just feel like they've I wasn't satisfied with the standalone movies for Hulk, and I feel like he works better. At least the Mark Ruffalo Hulk works better when he's within the Avengers. Or, I'm sure he'll work well with She-Hulk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I loved Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk. I love using cars as boxing gloves. I love the Hulk slap. Like, we got a lot more of the Hulk's other abilities in that one movie that we have not seen in the MCU, like, at all, right? So I'm like, we've never seen the Hulk really break loose in the MCU, right? Because you had to make him look soft against Thanos so that people that aren't familiar with these characters could understand, like, wait, Hulk's strong as hell, but this guy beat him? Like, okay, now we know how strong this guy is. So you had to kind of waste Hulk in Infinity War, right? And then he became, he found his religion in purgatory or wherever the hell he was by the time we see him again in Endgame. But to me, it's like, if you are going to go backwards, you got to go all in, put all your chips in, have him go completely bonkers, where he's really utilizing his complete strength. And the only reason why, Tristian, I'm interested in a solo Hulk movie is I want to see Red Hulk. I want to just see Banner versus Red Hulk one-on-one. No other people helping out, one-on-one. Because I still hold that Abomination fight very high on my list of MCU fights. It was brutal. It was so brutal. So to me, I'm like, I want to see Hulk more like that. And even his battle cry of saying Hulk smash before he goes and fights somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give me Hulk completely, not in pieces. Didge, what do you think? You think it's too late?
Yeah, it's definitely too late. And I think when you said that it was coming after She-Hulk, now I'm kind of afraid that they're going to try to pull She-Hulk doing the storyline. Like, I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's so many other things you could do. And I will say, Tristian, to your point, do I need a Hulk solo? No. But would I welcome one with open arms? 100%. 100%. Because like I said, I think Marvel is kind of like, I don't know, they've just neutered him really. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never really been able to be himself. I think the closest thing the MCU's ever got to Hulk being Hulk was the first Avengers movie, where he was going ballistic on Black Widow, fighting Thor, and then he just was able to tame it. I'm like, that's not the Hulk. AJ, you being someone that read the Ultimates, I missed the Hulk that was climbing up buildings in New York to find Freddie Prinze Jr. because he's dating Betty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys might think like, oh, that legit is in a comic book where Betty is dating Freddie Prinze Jr. and Hulk is tearing apart New York to stop that from happening. I need that kind of crazy. So yeah, Jaime, I'll go to you next. What do you think? Do you think it's kind of like Tristian saying, just put them more so in team ups? And do you think the storyline is kind of coming and past now that we've gotten Ragnarok?
I think the storyline for Hulk is kind of coming past. I actually have not been very pleased with Mark Ruffalo's interpretation of the Hulk, or I guess Bruce Banner, and then like the Hulk alongside it. I agree with you, Juwaan. I think the Incredible Hulk, the few movies that were in there, I thought that was like the best version of Hulk that I've seen so far, and we haven't gotten anything like that in the MCU. So I would find it, I don't know if jarring would be the right word, but it would be strange to see him go from like the behavior that he's presented in the MCU so far to just being like very violent and visceral like we saw in the Incredible Hulk series. So yeah, I think the time for that is coming past, and I'm not really sure if there's very many like Hulk fans that are vocal enough to try and get that standalone movie out there. So I don't know. For me, I couldn't care less if they did a Hulk movie, to be honest. They could change my mind, but I couldn't care less.
No, I mean, I feel you, and I kind of felt like we missed out in Ragnarok on Beta Ray Bill. Clearly in the comics, Silver Surfer, I believe, was part of that world. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you could have done, but you decided to make it into Ragnarok. So it was like, well, you did it. You know what I'm saying? You did it. We're done. We don't need to see any other version of it. You did it. So to me, it's always just, let's just move on. But Ash, how do you feel?
I know nothing really about the Hulk, but given what we know about him and what y'all have been saying, it just doesn't make sense to do that. And the only thing that I just keep thinking about is Black Widow, because someone mentioned Natasha, and it wouldn't even be the same if they tried to do what they did with her movie and like going back and like telling it, just because like she's dead. Like her movie is just a closure movie,
right,
for her. That's like really what it was. I also think that movie was also too late. So it's just something, it's done and over. Like, how are you going to do it? It just, I don't know. It feels very late. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so I'm going to go into the questions that are specifically for different individuals here, and then we'll move out of the Q&A so Tristian and AJ can have their segments before we get out of here. Ash, first question is for you, and your question is, it's a two-parter. What's your favorite scene in any Star Wars movie? And if you could improve a scene you think could be better, what would it be, and how would you improve it?
Okay, my favorite scene is between two. It's just these two. The first one is Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting on Mustafar, but it's the scene specifically after he chops his legs off, chops his hands off, and he gives that monologue, "You are my brother, Anakin." Love that scene. Just love that scene. You know, like sometimes like words don't do enough. Like you just gotta woof. And then my next scene, my top scene, my favorite scene of all time, like bury me like with that plane in front of me, is Vader showing up on that cruiser.
Yes.
All you just hear is footsteps. Then you just hear his breathing. then the lightsaber just goes in and you're just like, oh my God, oh my, like I have rewatched that scene. Like I didn't watch, what was it? Rogue One came out in what, 2016? Was that when it came out?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that movie again until 2019. And then I barely made it through. And then halfway, and then I watched it fully in 2020 just because of how painful that movie was. But I bet your ass, I was on YouTube watching that Vader scene almost every single day after that movie came out.
Rogue One?
No, I love Rogue One, but it was so painful for me.
Oh, gotcha.
And then
okay.
I couldn't watch, like it traumatized me.
I got you.
Have you not seen my Twitter? I tweet like once a
Juwaan
week or
doesn't pay
once a
attention to
month.
Twitter. You should know this by now.
Like,
and you guys are usually the reason why I don't pay attention.
excuse me. Don't start.
I told you.
I be minding my
told
business.
you guys' tweets are usually.
I mind my business.
No, yours, Ash. Okay, so yours is soccer, and then usually anything Star Wars, right? Okay, that's yours.
Facts.
AJ is like the mayor
Thirst traps.
of Seinfeld. Yeah, like the mayor of whatever town she lives in. Trayvon, I know.
All day,
I tell you
day.
what, if there's ever like 50 years from now, like 50 years from now, you know how everyone's always just like, where's Jackie Chan? Like, did something
Leave
happen
my
to Jackie
Twitter
Chan here?
alone, man.
Trayvon will make sure I know where Nicki Minaj is, what Nicki Minaj is doing, like what's happening. I know anything. I got Trayvon. Tristan, I'm starting to get there. Jaime, it's all video games. It's all video games. It's all video games. Didge, you're new, so I gotta kind of try to figure out what that is. But I just navigate past you because 3 a.m. all my Twitter is AJ. That's it. I don't see no one but 8,056,000 AJ tweets. That's it. That's why I stay off Twitter. Mainly AJ, but all of you.
I'm glad to help. I'm glad to help.
But then the thing that I would actually improve on, there's a lot, but the one that I will go with, because it really genuinely did piss me off, would be the Rise of Skywalker scene when we're hearing all of the Jedi, whatever, and she's getting ready to, to destroy Palpatine, fake Palpatine, that one final time. I dislike the fact that we did not get an Anakin Force Ghost.
I'd agree.
That should have happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
should have
I was more
happened.
upset we didn't get a visual of all the Jedi that were speaking to
Listen,
her.
yeah, let me go there. Yeah, that's where I'm going next, right? I'm upset that we didn't get those Jedi. Like, it was lovely to hear their voices, but we should have gotten the visual of this happening, right? Just like we got the visual of the Siths, right? Of their little framework, whatever, statues, whatever you want to call it. We should have gotten more of the Jedi, considering this movie ended, right, with a Jedi taking up one of the biggest names, right, in that universe. So for the fact for you to then have that happen, but we don't get to see the person who really started it all, including Shmi as well. We ain't gonna forget about her. Big ups to her. But the fact that we don't get Anakin in a movie that's called Rise of Skywalker, in it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it
would have made that even better is if all the Jedi lined up, right? And then they're all just like, all right, Rey, we got you. We're going to take out Palpatine. And then you just see Mace lean forward and go, Anakin? And Anakin's just like, oh, shit. And then those two just disappear. Like, they just disappear. It says connection no longer. It's when you're just trying to beat the hell out of Anakin. Yeah, that definitely would have made that scene so much better. To just be,
but yeah.
Wait a minute, Anakin.
Also the scene where Luke, all of Luke's scenes in The Last Jedi, all of it, Bennett.
Yep.
Didge,
I'm gonna loop you in on this because I know you're a huge Star Wars fan. I'll just say really quickly, my favorite Star Wars scene is Anakin arriving to the temple in Revenge of the Sith. And the only thing I would change is is for us to actually see him ragdoll the hell out of those kids. Wait, because here's what I'm picturing in my mind. Do you remember Toy Story where Woody got trapped in there with all those aliens and he's just like bombarding them to get through to kind of get out?
Terrible.
I want to see
Terrible.
Anakin do that. but with those young Padawans. That's all I want to see. That's what I would change.
You're
Show it.
terrible.
Show it.
You're
and bring
terrible.
it back and say, fuck them
We
kids.
talk
Show it.
about this every week.
You do.
Every
I want that
single
to
time.
improve. What do you want from me?
Single time. Like you can't say other Jedi, but no, it's the kids. Specifically the kids.
Yes. So Bernie Mac can say it, but I can't. Bernie Mac said, fuck them kids. So yeah, show it. Show Anakin beating them kids' ass. Anyway, Didge, what's your favorite Star Wars movie scene? And is there anything you want to change?
Yeah, Ash said it. The scene in Rogue One, Vader's scene at the end. I love that scene. I know we talked before. Vader's one of my top 5 Star Wars characters. Obviously, he's behind me. And that scene, I think that showed just how terrified they were when they saw when you heard them and then you saw the lightsaber. I was like, yeah, I need seasons and seasons. I just need everything with this. And the scene that I would change is his fight with obviously Obi-Wan, when they were calling him Ben Kenobi in A New Hope. I just wanted more of that fight. Like the ending, I get why it happened the way it did, but I would have loved to see a better resolution to the fight versus him just becoming one with the Force and dropping. They could have done so much cooler with that. And I know obviously the time that it was in and everything, but hell, remake it. I don't know. Remake just that scene for me. Not the movie. No, not the movie. Not the movie. Just remake the scene.
They already did remake the scene. I'll send you the link to it. They remade it.
I'll even say, Didge, they thought they would double down on that. That's how Luke died. They doubled down on
fair. Yeah, that was
disappearing is how old Jedi have to go. So you're just gonna disappear. That's it.
No, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure though. I'm not saying remake the movie at all. No, don't. I just want to make sure I don't remake that movie. Just show me more lights. Just show me more fights.
What are you saying, Tristan?
I feel like eventually they're going to, because everything.
I hope not.
They're going to, like, in another 10 years, 20 years.
And if they do, I hope I am dead by the time if they decide to remake.
Yes. Tristan said only 10 years from now. I was like, look, I don't want to be alive. She's like, God damn, it's just 10 years, maybe.
Listen, it's one of those nights, okay? We've been very dark over here, so we just gonna stay dark. But
they're supposed to have the. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say they said in the Kenobi series that they are gonna have a rematch, so maybe I'll get my wish there.
Right. Yeah. And this rematch won't go down like that. Obi-Wan won't look over to the side and just go, all right, take me, dog.
Right.
Nah, Obi-Wan's like, nah, you got to see me with these hands later. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me. Like you said last week, this is what you said last week. You said that Obi-Wan wouldn't know that Vader was coming. He would be very surprised. So he would
be very surprised, yeah.
So what hands is he throwing when he's running?
Now, first of all, Obi-Wan.
You think he's gonna run?
Obi-Wan ain't running.
That's what that's what Juwaan said last week.
So wait, you think he would run?
Hands. I don't think he would run. I don't think I said that. I did say he would be caught off guard. He for sure would be caught off guard.
And then you said he would get the hell out of there. That's running.
I gotta go back and check now.
They would fight, and then he would say, "Nah, I gotta get the hell up out of here." But they would fight first. He would have to see what the hands is like real quick. Like, nah, I know I cut off your hands, so let me see what hands you replaced them with. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if they're the real deal or not.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, nah, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, Jaime, the next one's for you. You ready?
I want to give you my favorite scene.
Oh, go ahead, Trevon. Go
ahead. No, never mind. I'm just playing. It would piss you guys off. I was gonna say it. Guys off.
Oh Lord.
Now you gotta say it.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
Now you gotta say it.
So in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh God. See, Trevon, usually I'm on your side, but what you doing right now?
I'm doing this on purpose because I know y'all love this. So in Rise of Skywalker, where Chewie is on the ship, right? And the ship is getting away, and Rey is pulling it with her force. I love it. I don't care. That scene is so cool to me. Like, she's pulling it, and then there comes Kylo Ren, like, no, I'm gonna mess your shit up. And then she shoots the lightning. I'm sorry, that shit was cool to me. I was like, this is cool. I don't know. I was like, I did not know that was a bad ability. I did not know that. See, at the time, I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, so that's a bad thing that she did that. I did not know that. Now I know But then I thought it was just a cool ability. I was like, oh,
Objectively,
cool.
it is. Objectively,
Like,
being able to
I was
shoot
like,
like
this is
anything
neat.
is cool.
And look, I don't think you're wrong, but I think my issue with that was just like, how is it we've gone through 2.5 movies and now all of a sudden you're figuring out abilities? Like, I would assume she was angrier when she thought Finn died in the cell than she was when Chewie got abducted. So I'm like, well, if you weren't angry enough there, how the hell is it Chewie
she was
just
fighting against Kylo? I think she
Finn was
so
black.
Oh God!
Yup, that might have been what it was. That might have been what it was. That might have been
Oh,
what it was.
no.
Parents told me about you. I can see Ray saying that too. I can see it.
Stop it. You're friends.
Y'all ain't slick. I did see her and Poe wink at each other. Y'all ain't slick. I know y'all ain't want no black man with a I ain't even gonna go there. Anyway.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
All right, let's move on. Jaime, this is for you. This question's for you. This is not for me, just to be very clear. Now, we all know your favorite movie is Netflix Death Note. Don't deny it. But the question is, what, in your opinion, does it take to make a good video game adaptation? And what game do you see having potential to be a great movie or show? Oh, dang. Jaime had to.
Well, she sat up. Okay. I was just about to say that too.
Ooh,
I was just caught off guard by the Netflix Death Note thing. You know, I haven't
we do
seen
all
it,
know
so
it.
the fact that it's my favorite movie, that's crazy.
Right, see it.
But what does it take to make a good video game adaptation? I feel like there's two different ways. There's one which is just being very faithful to the original source material, and having it play out very similarly to what the game displayed when you were playing through it. I don't think that's the most popular option, considering one, everybody's gonna know like what's gonna happen at the end, and two, like I think a lot of the times directors or just people in the film industry want to get a little bit creative and throw their own spice into the story, even if that spice is like inspired and tastes disgusting. You know, sometimes they just want to do it. I think the most popular way to adapt a video game is to take the source material and create your own story with it, even if it's following along the lines of something with that source material, but adding your own twist to it. So maybe something plays out differently, or maybe we're able to explore something that the game didn't touch upon that much. And I think that's the best way to go about it. I'm not really, off the top of my head, I can't think of a good video game adaptation movie that I saw.
Now, hold on, because I'm looking right at Trevon. Hold on, let me say two things really quickly. One, let me praise Uncharted. That movie was wonderful.
I haven't seen it yet. It was
wonderful.
I forgot it came out.
It definitely was wonderful.
I'm with you, Trevon. I want to express it. I saw you, Trevon. As soon as Jaime said that, I locked on to you. I saw it. And the second thing
I was thinking about Sonic, but yeah.
Oh no, I agree with you.
Oh, Sonic is good.
The
funny thing, and which one?
Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu. So with Detective Pikachu, I feel like they kind of just I don't think it was really following the story from the actual video game, although I haven't played it myself. So people, if you have played it, let us know down in the comments below. I think it was more so just taking that concept and creating a story around it, which is very successful. I think you could do that with just about any genre. And then with Sonic, thank you for reminding me that Sonic is a good video game movie, but I think they also Sonic doesn't provide much of a blueprint besides the characters. Like there really is there's a story, but you could pretty much do whatever you want as long as Sonic is in it. It could be like, yeah, this is a Sonic thing. And people would be like, hell yeah, it's a Sonic thing. I see a blue hedgehog. Like, yeah, we're on the same wavelength. So that's why I'm like, Sonic, you have a lot of freedom. People aren't going to be like, I want to see the specific thing where Eggman did this thing and this thing and this thing. Because it's like, that's not really
combat.
To be fair, the biggest thing everyone was looking forward to was, how the hell do you utilize rings? And I love how creative they were with utilizing those rings. Because I'm like, as stupid as it seems, it's like I don't need to see him run into a spike and then rings pop out.
Right.
But rings have to be somewhere in this movie that symbolizes that they're important. And I love that he could use them as portals. And it's like, oh, that's freaking genius. Like that's awesome. You know, it's taking something that's silly and making it really cool. So I'm like, there are some elements of Sonic, because I know me and Joel to this day hate the fact that you started here on Earth rather than in his own world, so we can see the loop-de-loops and all the bright colors of the worlds of Sonic. I felt the same way I do in Transformers. No, you start on his planet, right? And then you end with him coming here, so we don't have to go back to his planet because we can say we got it. So my hope is that we get back to his planet. Because I would even like to see it to where Sonic looks regular, but the humans look animated. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause no humans live in the realm that Sonic's from.
Right.
So I'm like, you could have a lot of fun with it, but there are some things for me personally that you do need to hit on when it comes to Sonic. I think the person that I really could care less about if they ever made a live action is Kirby. Like, if as long as Kirby's eating things, it's just, that's really all I need. You know what I'm saying? But for Sonic, there are more things that I really personally do need to see them utilize. And so far, in just one movie, I felt as though they have so far.
I'm sorry, but they got to get Meta Knight right too. I feel like Meta Knight's
okay. I'm with you there.
I think it's. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Was very divisive. I was like Mortal Kombat. I enjoyed it a lot, but it was very divisive.
Yeah, I feel like Mortal Kombat is.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I can't wait for the next one, but I've heard a lot of problems, complaints, or whatever. I'm like, I don't see it, but whatever.
I think people received Mortal Kombat similar to. Well, no, I think probably more people like Uncharted than Mortal Kombat at this point in time. But I think
definitely.
I think it's been received kind of similarly, where people are like, okay, this was a good movie, but it wasn't a good Mortal Kombat movie, or this is a good movie, but it wasn't a good Uncharted movie.
I say that with The Dark Knight all the time.
Yeah. So I don't know, just getting that. I feel like it's tough to make a video game adaptation, only for the fact that you're gonna have like your regular audience that you want to appeal to. And you're gonna have video game fans that are like, oh, this character didn't do this, this, and this. Or like people like me who are looking at the Uncharted trailer, like, oh, why are they doing a young Nathan Drake story if he's doing things that he was doing as an adult? Like that, why even go through that? Just make him an adult Nathan Drake at this point. But yeah, what movie would I pick for video game adaptation? Honestly, Mario is interesting, and I think it comes out this year. I want to say the Mario movie, or the new Mario movie that's going to be animated with the Chris Pratt starring as Mario. Right. It's interesting because I feel like there's Trevon, a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways. Sorry. You could go. No, you're good. There's a lot of ways you could go. Because Mario also doesn't really have like a solidified storyline. Like there's multiple stories told within Mario, but it's not like you have to stick with one timeline and be like, oh, Mario did this thing, and then Peach did this thing, and then Luigi did this thing. Like you can pretty much do whatever you want as long as it's faithful to like how the character would act. Right. Mario's pretty good, honestly, and I've heard that this was rumored. I don't think it would be very difficult to do a Ghost of Tsushima movie. And I absolutely love that game. I feel like gonna be a series. Okay.
That's an expensive ass series, AJ.
I mean, what's the difference between that and Lord of the Rings that Amazon's making?
Because Amazon was being led by somebody that has more money than we've ever known a human.
All right, that is a terrible comparison. Let's say The Witcher.
I mean,
The Witcher.
Wait, say it again.
The Witcher.
No, because to me, The Witcher, they cut on some things. So when you look at some of the monsters, some monsters look a lot better than other monsters. So they cut on a few things because that Netflix budget for The Witcher will never be what it should be.
But they do it great. You don't have to worry about having CGI elements to.
No. But you know what you do have to spend a lot of money on in Ghost of Tsushima? Landscape. It's a beautiful looking game, right? You don't go and it looks the same everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to spend money on that. So location is a lot of
pictures got the money.
Oh, no doubt. Will they spend it?
Oh
Will
yeah,
they
fair.
is the question. Will they spend it?
I mean,
That's all
okay. Location, that is a fair point. So they could either do like, I don't know,
I mean,
the
not
volume.
really. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll say my thoughts.
I was gonna say the volume technology that they used to film The Mandalorian, where you're pretty much just on a not a sound stage, like a visual stage, and you can change the image. I'm sure that is very, very expensive, and I don't know how that compare. I don't know how that compares to actually getting permits for each individual location. That's why I'm like, it would be cool to see it as a series, especially because you can dig into some of those side quests that I feel like really add a lot of color to the main story for Ghost of Tsushima. But as a movie, it might work out better. I don't know.
That's what I think. But I did want to say one really quick thing before you finish us off, AJ, for this topic. I've heard this a lot. Two things I want to speak on. One, when you watch Uncharted, I think the route they went was two different things. One, you went young because Tom Holland can play Nathan Drake into his 30s, which was about the age he was when the game did its first 2 or 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the longevity. But what I think they were aiming for was, all right, so if we fail, we can't get a part 2. And we've just wasted Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, right? It's hard to go back to that well if you fuck that up. So I think they were just taking the most memorable things that even the most generic fan of Uncharted might visually know. And they're like, we're going to go balls to the wall with as much stuff as you know. Because there's again, you haven't seen it, and I'm not going to spoil anything, Jamie, but there's so much in that movie that if you know the games, it's from different games in that one movie. But I think they were calling their shot. They're like, hey, let's do it. Let's do the best we can. Let's put as much in there as we can so that we can get a part 2. And when we get to part 2, we'll figure everything else out. And lo and behold, it's made a shit ton of money. Like a lot of money.
I see that, but creatively for me, I'm like, if you're telling a young Nathan Drake story and you want this to be successful and you want to iterate on this, what is adult Nathan Drake gonna do? He's gonna do something different than the video games? And in which case, if you're gonna do that, why not just make a new story for young Nathan Drake if you're willing to take that risk? I don't know.
But to be fair, this movie, and again, I don't want to spoil this either, but this movie, Trevon, you know this, does tell us his actual age, and it's not as young as you would think it is. So it's not a young Nathan Drake. It's just a younger Nathan Drake than what we know. So he's not. I'll just say this.
It's explained.
Right. I'm not going to tell you the age that they tell us that he is, but I'll just say this. He's not 16 trying to be Nathan Drake. I'll just say that. The age that he is not far from the age we know him to be from the very first game we got. So again, it's just because Tom Holland looks like an infant that it's like, damn, y'all are giving us young ass Nathan Drake. And they're like, well, no, I think y'all keep forgetting Tom Holland ain't 16. He a grown ass man, you know? So when you watch the movie, they do tell you, not directly, but through context, how old he is. And then when you hear it, you're like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah. And the other thing that you spoke to that I hear a lot, especially heard this from AJ, is the concept of, well, you can't do stories we've already seen, right? You got to kind of do stuff that's new. And where I would push back on that is that's exactly what Mortal Kombat did, and no one liked it. Not the movie, Trevon. No one liked the concept of how new the fact that you had Liu Kang as a secondary character when there's not been one Mortal Kombat game that this motherfucker is not the face of, it's just mind-boggling. Like, why would you just leap to put him way in the back and put this new character to the forefront? Like, who the fuck is he?
It's the decisions that they make. It's less than the way they try to make things connect to the games. It's more on the decisions on how they try to make things connect to the game, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. But that's why I said, like, Yes. Do we know how things will end? For sure. But the reason why I think that's a little overutilized, the concept of trying to be so new and refreshing, is if you watch the first Uncharted movie, no one goes into that movie going, yo, they could go as crazy as to Nathan Drake dies at the end. Like, no, we all know that the concept is to build numerous movies, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, if you're doing a Halo series and you're following it to a T, to me, that doesn't make it less interesting. It makes it very interesting because I at least know you're hitting all the important, facets of this story. I'm never watching it going, yo, he never did that. What the fuck? What was that? You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'd rather see as close to the source material as you can get. So that way I know I love the source material. So if you're just doing that, you can't go wrong.
Well,
It's when
that
you try to get too
Well,
That
okay.
depends. That depends.
more of
So-
my issue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So my only point on this is the fact that I don't know, because I was kind of thinking like, oh yeah, well I can see like what your point is, especially with comparing like comic books to like comic book movies. The thing about video games is it's already giving us like a very cinematic experience, and so giving us something that's very close to, if not like shot for shot, like identical, like it can be cool as like. I don't know. I feel like at some point people are gonna be like, that was cool. Yeah. It was what I've seen before, but just on the big screen. That was cool. And it's not gonna be something that really wows, well, at least I feel like it wouldn't be something that would wow me. So I would want like a little twist, a little kick from me. But
See, my issue is
Can I-
that people want everything that they already seen, but at the same time they want something new. My issue is that you can have those same elements to it, but the execution has to be right. Just look at the MCU. You still have good elements that's within the comics, but it's done differently. And it's because it's executed well. And that's why so many people adore the MCU, is because the execution is there.
Even the comic.
But where video games lack is the execution and how it adapts from video game to live action. It's the same
I know we're
Go ahead, Ash. No, go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, I know we're just talking about live action, like with video game movies, but a video game that I'm like thinking of, and like I'm, y'all, Juwaan, you know, I have feelings about this already.
Watch your mouth, Ash.
I am going there.
Already,
am
watch
going
your
there.
mouth, Ash. Okay.
I'm not gonna be rude. I'm not gonna be rude, right? So I'm thinking about, because y'all are like talking about like the adaptation, and I'm just thinking about the Injustice, right? Animated movie that came out, right? That's based on the video game, right? The first 30 minutes of the movie was following the video. Well, first 15 minutes was following the video game plot line, right? To a T of this is what happened, blank, 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 blank. And then from the moment, right, the catalyst, the turning point where y'all should know the game by now. It's been out for nearly 10 years. When Superman kills the Joker, everything changes in the plot line. I'm sorry.
You killed the Joker?
Don't start with me.
Ash.
Don't start with me. Don't start. Right? Every single thing changed about that, right? And a lot of people were upset about that. Why? Because it didn't follow the storyline of the video game, even even of the comics as well. So like I can see like the argument of like we want it to be to a T, because like again, you're really just adapting it. We want to see it in a live action version or in an animated version. Don't change anything about it. But at the same time, in having that creative freedom to do whatever you want to do, there's still things that you need to think about with the execution of how you're actually going about showing this change that you're going to do, right? So if you're going to be bold and bring and do something completely new, make it executed and believable enough where your fans aren't going to go back to the video game and say, well, they shouldn't have done it in the first place. And that's how I felt about Injustice, the animated movie.
I mean, to go back to video game movies, that's what, like, I think I would have enjoyed Mortal Kombat more if this was before we got some of the characters that we know, right? So before Liu Kang, before Sonya Blade, before those characters, and then you bring in this new character. So it's in a timeline, right, that we don't really know about. that has
Mhm.
never been in the games, because we've always known it's always been Liu Kang.
Mhm.
So you're working in a space vacuum that doesn't really have any continuity, that we're like, well, no, it's supposed to be this, 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 and this. That's why I tell you guys all the time, Jon Favreau is a genius for making The Mandalorian in the one pocket of time that does not really exist in any facet of Star Wars, right? So that you don't hold it
Chef's
to,
kiss.
well, this has to be here, or this has to be here. He has the freedom to kind of work within things, knowing how far he has to go before something big does happen. So to me, I'm kind of like, well, just do that if you want to be so different. Just work outside of what we know and then work into what we know. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have the room to just be so new or organic. Trevon, that's one of the things I think me and you maybe like about those prequel Harry Potter movies. Like, picture if we got in the Harry Potter movies about the prequels, and then we saw the prequels play out, and it's like, well, no, we've kind of already seen what it should be, but we only go off of the stories that Dumbledore and other wizards were talking about, and now we see it play out. So you can kind of twist and change that a little bit, right? But if we physically saw it, and then you're trying to do something completely different than what we saw, then it's like, well, goddamn, like, why? It was right there. You had it. Just do it.
See, I mean, I guess I agree. Like with Fantastic Beasts, it was just, for me, it was just living off the Harry Potter name for me to even see it in the first place.
Yeah.
So, but when I found out what it was actually going, like what the story's actually about, I got even more excited about it.
Right.
With Mortal Kombat, when you hear the words Mortal Kombat, there are certain characters you think about, and I feel like if they weren't in it, it wouldn't have pulled people to see it. I don't know. It's just different to me with Mortal Kombat.
I don't know.
If you don't know about Liu Kang, you don't know they're not in it. That would be. I don't see people like seeing it like that. Like
I'm with you.
I don't see
one
it.
example I have for you, and then Tristan, I'm going to give you your question. The one example I have for you, Trevon, is I always say it was the best marketing I've ever seen in movie history. Prometheus. Prometheus was an aliens movie, but you didn't know that till you sat down and watched Prometheus, right? It wasn't trying to sell itself off of being aliens, right? And then the second one, they were solely trying to sell you on the idea that it's aliens, and it wasn't received well, right? It wasn't received well. People liked the idea of not knowing. So I'm like, you could have called it anything else. You didn't have to call it Mortal Kombat. You could have given it Outer Realms, something, to where we know it's the world of Mortal Kombat, but not the exact games that we've played. It's just in the world of it, right? And then you get to the end where you see Raiden go bring in Liu Kang, and you're like, oh shit, now we're getting to the Mortal Kombat. He just went and got Liu Kang. You know what I'm saying? So there are ways to where you could do it, to where people know it's the same thing, but it's not the exact thing that they're used to. And then you can play around with that. It's the reason why that M. Night Shyamalan movie that he did with what's his name that played Professor X?
Split.
That movie, Split. Split did crazy numbers. Why? Not because people knew it was in the same universe as Unbreakable. No one knew that till you got to the end credit scene. But they loved how new and different that world looked, and that you had another villain. And then it's like, shit, it's connected to that? Oh, hell yeah. And then what happened once they connected it all again? That third movie fell on its ass. Why? Because now we have a continuity of what we know things to be, and you're going away from it. And now it's like, well, now I don't give a shit, right? So that's what I'm saying. There's a way to balance that. But Tristan, your question for you is, do you think it's and we've talked about this before, but do you think it's the right idea to not recast T'Challa in the MCU?
I do. Because Chadwick Boseman did such a good job establishing that character, and I really don't think I don't think I want to see anybody else take on that character. Obviously not the Black Panther, but just T'Challa. So I think it is a good decision. I made peace with it. If we never see that character again, I'm okay with it. I've made peace with the fact that we're not going to see that character again. So, but that world still exists, and there's still other stories that can be told. So
I won't make peace with it till I hear how this movie explains where T'Challa is at. We've seen this again. We've seen the character. Let me make sure I'm being very clear. We've seen the character die twice, and his only 4 times in the MCU. 2 movies he died in, right? So it's like, well, now you're telling me T'Challa's dead again. That sits very wrong with me, right? So to me, I would rather you recast him because, again, an actor cannot go down with a character. You know what I'm saying? T'Challa wasn't created for Chadwick Boseman, right? Now, he brought the character to new heights. No arguments. But the same could be said about Iron Man. We will see an Iron Man 50 years from now, right? Disney as a whole won't go, well, no one could ever play Iron Man. That's Robert Downey Jr., right? So I'm like, just because, and I'm trying not to sound insensitive.
Yeah, but it'll be a long time from now that we'll see another.
But that's why I said the best thing for Disney and Marvel to have done was to put this movie on the back burner, right? Give it time to flesh out. The problem Feige made was, as soon as the man passed, he immediately, with emotion, said, oh, we'll never recast the character. And then everyone across the planet Earth was like, yeah, no, don't recast the character. If you had let it breathe, right? And then made the decision to recast them, people would have been a lot more accepting of it. But when you come out right after the man passes and go, no, we'll never recast it. Now the whole world is on the side of that. But if you had let it breathe, same thing with Heath Ledger. If you had let it breathe,
they're gonna ask though, like.
And you could just say, we've made no decision on it yet. We haven't even thought about it. He just passed.
I mean, ultimately, people would forget regardless anyway. If the actor playing Black Panther is good, people would just forget about it. They'll say, oh, yeah, he's good, and move on with their life.
That's what I'm saying. I know we have Chadwick in our minds and in our hearts, but I'm telling you, in my mind, the first thing I thought about, like weeks, months later after he passed, was John David Washington is a seamless transition. Not a perfect transition, but a seamless one. Same build, same charisma. Like, there's nothing drastically different about the caliber of the 2 actors. That could have been a transition you make to where, will everyone accept it right away? No. People didn't accept going from Heath Ledger to Jared Leto. It takes time for these things. Bale to Ben Affleck. No one accepted that. I know there was no death in there, but it's change that fans are always against, right? They wanted Bale to be Batman for another 90 years.
I didn't think it was. I just those people didn't see as characters. I don't think they were like, they can't be like those were like completely separate universes. They were completely separate like things.
It's gonna be trash though. Like, he's such a T'Challa is such a big character in the Black Panther just realm that it's going to be trash to just be like, we gotta throw him away. Like obviously, yeah, it's hard to say that without kind of sounding insensitive to what happened. Like, we were like Geek said, we were podcasting when we got the news, and I legit had tear in my eye. So like, it hit me. But at the same time, like you said, I think if they would have waited till the emotion was gone, maybe like 6-7 months down the road, and then said, hey,
even a year. Like, he only passed a few years ago. You didn't need the movie this soon. Right?
Like, this could have came, I think it's coming this year, right?
No,
it'll probably push to next year. Okay.
Probably come next year, yeah.
Okay, but even so, like, they could have announced it early this year. Like, if they would have announced it towards the end of last year, going into this year, like, this is our new T'Challa, I think it would have got more accepted than, like you said, leading with the emotions right after saying, we're never going to recast. And then it's like, well, now we lost all of those stories.
And Didge, don't forget, what also would have helped is the fact that Chadwick's brother recently came out and said, he 100% would want you to recast and keep the character going because he means so much to little black boys, right? So it's like, if you had waited and that had came alongside with Feige's support of doing it, would people feel some kind of way? Yes, but people feel some kind of way about all kinds of shit that you just move on with.
Let's remember,
Let's
remember, social media is a reactive element.
100%.
It's super reactive, but ultimately within time, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, probably even less, they'll be like, okay, we accept it. Look at Robert Pattinson's Batman. Nobody accepted that. 3 weeks later, oh yeah, I'm with it.
Right.
It's basically the same thing.
Right. And to speak to what you're saying, Trevon, I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is if Chadwick had been Black Panther for, let's say, even half of how long is let's say the exact time is RDJ, 10 plus years, right? We could have said, well, bro, you've exacerbated all kinds of Black Panther stories, right? We've gotten everything. There's really not much else you can do. No, and then that happens. No problem. Let's move on. Maybe Shuri gets it, whoever. Bro, we didn't even scratch the surface. Bro, Storm is on her way. And now you're telling me I could never see her sit on the arm of the throne of Wakanda next to a T'Challa? That's insane, bro. That's insane.
I mean, you still
That's
can.
crazy.
Just make her lesbian.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey. Still happen.
It's not a necessity for a Black Panther to be with Storm. I need it for
I know.
T'Challa.
I know what you mean.
like that's not like a de facto for the title of Black Panther. Like, all right, well, whoever, like, could you picture that? Like, that was scribbled on his suit of armor, like Thor's hammer. Whoever dons Black Panther's costume must marry Storm. It's like, no, you don't have to do that. But to me, I just believe it's a disservice to the character. The character means too much. And again, his first 5 movies, he died twice. And you're telling me that's it? What story did you think I got? His dad died, right? And he became king. Then the movie where he became king that he died in. Then Infinity War, right? He died in. Then Endgame, he was in the last 10 minutes. And you're telling me that's sufficient enough for me to go, well, we've gotten all we need from T'Challa. That's insane. That's crazy. I need more. That's crazy. Because Trevon, look at me. You would not accept that if that happened to Wanda or Captain Marvel, where we said, you know what? That's all we need from your story.
Or even Static Shock. There we go.
Or even Static Shock.
Ooh,
Even if
wow,
Barry
y'all-
died in his first movie, you would
Let me get a Static Shock first, and then we talk about it. How about that?
Listen,
Let me get
you
it
will
first.
never get that.
Okay.
You ain't never
Let me
getting
get
that.
the movie first. Okay,
Unless
let me
he
get the
moves
movie
over to
first.
Marvel, you ain't never getting Static Shock.
Goodness gracious.
Don't hope now.
Trevon, your question was, I don't even know why I let y'all go down these paths. Trevon, your question is, okay, here we go. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? I know the answer. You preach it every day.
No, you don't know the answer.
I know the answer. You want to fly, Trevon. You want to fly.
I think flying is cool. I want teleportation.
Exactly. I was gonna say that, so he can teleport in and out
I
of the
want
bank.
teleportation. Yes, I need to be able to teleport in a blink of an eye whenever I feel like it. Like if I want to go on the beach somewhere, I can do that. If I want to
be like Jumper.
go, yes, absolutely. That was a great power. Are you kidding? Come on. Like, absolutely. Yes. That's exactly the power I want. Teleportation.
I love you, Trevon.
Flying takes too long. It's cool to look at. It doesn't take too long.
Also, all that wind in your hair, and then when you land, your hair get messed up.
Cool to watch.
Ooh,
Flying the bugs and stuff.
birds,
Like,
all of that.
Yeah.
Give me an invisible jet.
I think it's not that simple with flying. I don't think Superman flies into bugs or birds anytime.
I mean, he kills them.
I'm not
yes.
Superman.
He flies through them. Yes.
But why would you go to the worst possible idea of flying, not the best possible idea of flying?
you just don't see this suit probably littered with bugs and stuff.
That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of effort.
Exactly.
And
It looks very
You gotta,
effortless.
Also, what if you're scared of heights? What if you're scared of heights?
you know,
Then that wouldn't be the power you choose, Ash. That's
Teleportation.
But what if it just somehow found you?
Teleportation. That's what I always say.
Okay. AJ, you have a question, AJ. Your question, AJ, is if you had to choose between being a part of the Green Lantern Corps or Nova Corps, which
Green Lantern Corps.
Damn. Okay. All right.
That's insane.
Your reason why you just spit on Nova Corps like that?
First of all, I just like the versatility of the ring. It doesn't matter. I feel like it just has more usability than the Nova Corps, basically. So I'm choosing the Green Lantern ring.
No disagreements. no disagreements, but I will say Batman took that fucking ring off very easily.
Yeah,
So-
but to be fair, Hal Jordan is the
just
most
saying.
distracted Green Lantern. So
Yeah.
Batman was just like, "Oh, you mean this ring?" And he's like, "What the fuck? How did
That
you
was-
do that? Oh, you weren't concentrating."
Okay.
To be fair, he
Also,
does
That was a
get
stupid
Batman
distracted.
question.
and Batman could do that to anybody. Let's not
True.
act like he
I
can't.
wouldn't say
True.
anybody.
Yeah,
But yeah.
no, AJ, anybody,
I wouldn't say
Exactly.
anybody.
anybody,
I wouldn't say anybody.
anybody.
Who wouldn't he be able to do that to?
Sinestro. There
Yes,
you
he
go.
would. Yes, he
Yes,
would.
he
wouldn't.
would.
Yes, he would.
Oh,
No, he
yes,
wouldn't.
he would.
No,
Yes,
he
And
wouldn't.
you know what?
would.
100%
Yes,
he
he
would.
would.
Let's add to that. Not only would Batman go, "Is this your ring?" Batman would go, "Is this your ring finger that I'm holding with the ring?"
100%. Get
Batman-
off Batman's dick, Juwaan. He would not.
AJ,
He would.
you're about to see the movie 3 times in one day, and
Exactly.
I'm
I am. Yes, 100%. You are. Get off of it.
So okay, so I had a
ahead, Trevon.
question. This is
Go
a
ahead,
stupid
Trevon.
question. But is Nova? Okay, this is God. Don't fat me. Okay, is Nova a part of the Nova Corps? I just know it Nova Corps, but is Nova okay? So could I choose to be Nova,
Yes.
not just part of Nova Corps? Like I don't want to just be on regular people. I want to be Nova. Could I be
The
Nova,
Nova Corps-
or
the
a
Nova
Green
Corps
Lantern?
is like Nova. The Nova Corps is like Nova. Same way the
Is
Green
it-
Lantern Corps is like Green Lantern.
That's not. That's really.
I
They're all
think
the
he's
same?
focused
But
more
like,
on the
but
MCU
Green Lantern
more
is
than-
like, is Nova like a person? Is that her name? Nova?
No, Nova could be really anybody. It's not one
Oh.
person.
I thought Nova was like specific powers, other than the rest of them. I
No.
thought.
Not drastically. It essentially, that's why Mr. Yu's question is fair, because they're essentially not
Oh,
exactly.
I didn't know
the same
that. Okay.
thing. But it's
I know
not
it was
head over
special.
heel. Like, no.
Okay. But in the
They
ring, they
just
run
make
out of
him
energy.
special. They make him special in the Guardians of the Galaxy game, sure.
Right.
But in the comics, he's basically the same as any Nova Corps person.
Right. He's just
Oh.
the face of.
Yeah.
It's usually
So
Sam.
they had like flight
or-
and super
or Richard.
strength.
I would say he's the strongest
Energy
in
blast
the Nova
and
Corps,
stuff.
but they all basically have the same power.
You know what? Time out, Trevon. Let me, because
My
you're
fault.
right. You're right. Let me speak to what you're saying, because you are right. Hal Jordan does have the strongest willpower of all the Green Lanterns. So that kind of gives him an enhancement. But all their powers are the same. So what we're saying is either Sam or Richard, who are the Novas, like the face of being the Novas, they're like slightly stronger than the other ones, but it's not just like, all right, I'm Superman and you're Robin. Like, it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's not a gap like that.
I wouldn't
Also,
say
Also, the
Hal is
ring can run out
strongest.
of power, right? The ring
I
can
wouldn't
run
say
out
he's
of-
the strongest. He's the most creative.
Nova
with
does
the
not
ring.
run out of energy, right?
No, Nova does not run out of energy. No.
The ring can. I would
ring
probably do Nova.
The ring power can. That's why you have the battery. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That's why you
Yeah,
got
I
to carry the lantern with you.
I would do Nova
That
then.
could-
The
Yeah.
Energizer lantern. Yeah. You
Okay.
can't get the Duracell. You got to get the Energizer lantern. So
And
you
that
can-
long line you got.
Let's just say I can whoop Superman's ass any day of the time.
Except when you're out of power. And you got to set it.
I mean, I don't need that much power to create kryptonite. So
You're not
I didn't-
wrong, but I
I
think
didn't
you're
think you could
vastly
create kryptonite.
underrating Superman.
I
AJ.
didn't know you
Yeah,
could
I'm
correct
like,
kryptonite.
I'm just,
What?
yeah.
AJ, I'm gonna just say this:
I remember doing
Superman,
that.
Superman would beat the brakes off of Hal Jordan. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Hal Jordan isn't the strongest Green Lantern though. So
Tell me who the strongest Green Lantern is,
Kyle Reiner,
and he would beat.
He
the
would break
brakes.
his ass.
100%
Power
not. 100% not.
Yes, he would.
100%
Yes,
not.
he would.
100%
Listen,
not.
half of the Superman we be seeing is the Superman that is tame, who's like, oh my god, I can't hit the box. If I hit the box, I'm gonna destroy the box. Bitch, destroy the fucking box and break their necks.
But we're going on continuity, right? We're not
Yeah.
just going on any. We're just going on
I'm
continuity.
No,
sorry.
just
do you mean,
yeah.
time out. Do you mean the same continuity that makes Superman stronger per comic? That
Stronger per
continuity?
comic. There's different continuities in the comic. Which way are we
But-
going with?
Any continuity you want to think of, AJ, they create extra powers to make Superman even more stronger.
So,
So, like, he would beat the
okay.
brakes off Kyle Rayner.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
Okay.
So y'all
Whatever
keep
you
saying
say.
he can beat
Whatever
the
you
brakes off, but he can't beat the brakes off Batman. Right?
No,
Nope.
he can
We're
beat the
not
brakes
going
off
with Batman anymore.
I mean, he
I'm
could,
just
but
saying,
he's
I'm
not
just
gonna.
saying.
I mean,
I'm
if
just
we're being
saying, I'm just
objective,
saying.
if we're being no, if we're being objective, yes, he can. But if we're being realistic, Batman is always
Would he?
prepared.
Would he? No, he wouldn't.
I think.
Would he
I
beat the
think
brakes
so.
off Kyle Rayner? For sure. Wait, AJ, doesn't Kyle Rayner paint?
Huh?
What does that have to do with
What does
anything?
that have to do with anything?
With anything.
Superman
Wait, doesn't Superman just report news?
No, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Can you hear me out?
Is he about
ahead.
are you
Superman's
really
at
about
least
to?
gonna go, yo, I won't beat up Bruce because Bruce got money, right? I could work with that. You paint. Hell yeah, I'm gonna beat the brakes off you. What's painting gonna do for me? You need the money. Bruce Wayne
Hey,
bought
wax
his
on,
mother's
wax
house.
off, baby. Wax on, wax. He
Yeah,
practicing
all
all day.
Yeah,
He
time out. You know what,
practicing all
Jamie? Time out.
day.
Hold on. I like that you did this because that's all Kyle's gonna be able to do with that hand. He's gonna be a proficient painter because this is all the motion he could do with that hand. That's it, because he done broke his
All
damn
right,
hand.
all right.
Exactly, I think he
Why
can't
can't
react.
they
that
Anything
add
to
into
defend
this?
Batman.
to me.
Listen, I mean, again, all I had to say is that he's gone up against Darkseid and he's won. So talk to me when your hero beats one of the biggest villains.
Well, it makes
And-
sense that in the comics,
Yo,
Batman beat
I ain't
Darkseid
seen-
too. So
I haven't seen
where is
Static
that
Shock
going
fight
from?
Darkseid.
Coming from?
I haven't seen Static Shock
We're
fight
not.
Darkseid.
We haven't seen him yet.
That's
How about
all right.
that? Okay.
That's all
Haven't
right.
seen
Alright,
him in
how
the
about
comics
that?
either. Haven't seen him in the comics
I
either.
ain't seen it in the comics either.
Mhm.
All I'm
He
saying
was-
in the comics,
He was in
one
that
time
episode
that
of
we got
Justice
the last
League, and I didn't see him
Thanos.
take on
So
Darkseid.
what is happening here?
We're
What?
not
AJ?
comparing Static
I
Shock.
said in
just
the
starting-
comics, Squirrel Girl beat Thanos. So what are we talking about?
I'm just starting the
Don't
pod. That's what I'm here
underestimate
for.
squirrels. That's what we say.
Exactly.
Don't underestimate them.
Y'all on some dumb shit. That's what
It's
I
about to
need
be
to
Batman weekend. Y'all trying to
Go
talk
on to the
about
next
this
topic.
thing?
I'm hungry over here.
Y'all are ridiculous. Let's see. All right. So this says, I'm sure the new Superman reboot will be straight booty, in my opinion, of course. But what do you hope they do for the movie, and what are some of the things you don't want them to do for the movie? Well, I will start. The first thing that you need to do for the movie is bring Henry Cavill back. The thing that I think you shouldn't do for the movie is not bring Henry Cavill back. And yeah, that's it. That's how you not make the Superman movie booty. It's as simple as I got it. Anybody else want to make it simpler? No? Is that we pretty much on the same page there?
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
on.
Thought so. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, I think that's pretty much all I want to really do. Oh, he had a question for me. Okay, last one, and then Tristan, and then AJ, you end this out. If you were in charge of setting up the DCEU, how would you do it? In my
Oh Lord
version,
Jesus.
the setting would take place in the 1930s. I
So the
wouldn't change.
JSA.
Yeah, essentially.
Talking
Well,
about
no.
Rafa?
I think he
I
just.
mean, that's what they are doing in the DCEU. So okay, you know what? Let me answer the question. Let me not.
Thank you. Wouldn't really change it much from how it actually started. I think I would just maybe make the quality better, maybe brighter, so people would understand that it's not Gothicum instead of Gotham. Like there's some sun that shines maybe somewhere, somehow. Would maybe do that. But no, overall, I didn't hate how the DCEU started. I didn't hate how it progressed. I would maybe change a few movies, make the movies better. But starting with Superman, then bringing in Batman and Wonder Woman, and then doing a Justice League movie where you bring in literally the rest of them, including Green Lantern, and then doing solos from there, wouldn't really have any problem with it. I think the biggest problem is some of the movies didn't hit. That was the biggest issue. Not how you started, the fact that the movies didn't hit. If they all hit, we're not having this conversation. So that's what I would do. AJ, I'll ask this last question to you. What is the fascination with John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic?
I mean, for most people, he looks like Mr. Fantastic, so that's one thing. But for me, I just overall think he's a great actor. So for me, he's a great choice. I wouldn't say perfect choice, but he's a great choice for Mr. Fantastic. There's other actors that can play him too, but John Krasinski is the most popular choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I think where the popularity came from is that he was asked, would he, would you like to be Mr. Fantastic? And his answer was, of course. Yeah, sure. And everyone was like, oh, well, that's canon now. He's Mr. Fantastic. And they just ran with it. So I think that's where the hype for that comes from. Mr. E, I'm gonna save some of these questions because these might be good for another episode. So I'm gonna save some of the rest of these questions. I've marked up the ones we used.
Are we gonna skip over the fact? Are we gonna skip over the fact that Emily Blunt would be a great Sue Storm?
Yes, for two reasons. A, she said she doesn't want to do it.
Stupid answer.
And B, I don't need husband and wife. I would like someone else. I want what's her name?
I think there's a benefit.
Trevon, that was you.
You pissed me off. Oh my God.
Wait, hold on, Tristan. I'm gonna come back. Would you say Trevon?
It pissed me off when she answered like that.
I appreciate that because now I don't have to sit through. I don't have to sit through people like just dying for her to be in the role. If she was honest, she wasn't even mean about it. She was just like, I'm not into that. Like that's not me. I don't want to do it.
That's a stupid.
No problem.
That is a stupid.
No problem.
Whatever.
No, look, all I'm saying is this: if I'm Emily Blunt and I turn down Marvel, but my Jungle Cruise movie makes a shit ton of money, I'm looking at life pretty good here. Quiet Place made a shit ton of movie. I don't need Marvel until she goes on a bad run. Until she goes on a bad run, I don't think she's feeling as though she needs it. So again, if that's how she feels, no problem. She didn't shit on it. She just said it's not for her.
Yeah, she ain't Martin Scorsese it.
Right. Now
I don't care what he thinks.
Don't disrespect.
Okay.
I don't care about that.
Relax. But
they
what
say
I
stuff like that. I
going
don't care about
back
him
to you, going back to you, Tristan, is to me, I'm like, I would like the Fantastic Four to be a mixed bunch. So a familiar face, an unfamiliar face, or not as familiar face. I want what's her name from Vikings to be Invisible Woman.
Which one?
I know.
I know what you're talking.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. To me, I think she's perfect. I think she's right there on the radar where people that know Vikings know her, but it gives her room to grow into like a superstar.
You know, can you put a noun to that name? Like what's who's the her? Like,
okay. I'm sorry for people that don't watch Vikings. How do you even exist if you don't watch Vikings? I don't understand. But
So much other
I
content.
While he's
know.
looking for it,
Breathing.
I want to announce that Vikings Valhalla is really good on Netflix. It is greatness. So,
but AJ is biased. He's being paid by Netflix to say that.
The girl from New Mutants is in it, right?
Catherine Winnick.
Who?
Her name is Catherine Winnick.
Okay, I'm gonna look her up.
Catherine Winnick.
But it's Sia with a K.
A K. So Catherine Winnick would be my pick. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Tristan. The only Fantastic Four casting I truly care about in that world of the Fantastic Four is Remy Malek is Silver Surfer. If I get that, I'm a happy camper. Because there is not a soul on this earth that seems more lifeless than Remy Malek. That man is perfect.
No.
That man is that man is perfect.
Wow.
Sign him up. Sign him up. Let's do it. But
what?
Tristan, I want to go to you. Yeah, I know. I always like to bring you guys off. Tristan, I'm going to go to you, but one thing I want to say is I've completely caught up on Bel-Air. Thank you for the recommendation of watching Bel-Air. It's way more palatable than I ever thought it could be, right? I've only thrown up once. But I've enjoyed most of everything I've seen.
No.
I know what I said.
What?
I've only thrown up once. I know what I said.
Is trash.
No, I don't think
Yes, he is.
Yes,
Yes, he is.
Oh, wait,
Trash,
time out.
trash,
I don't think
trash.
it's trash, but can I say this one really quick thing?
No, I didn't say the show. I said Carlton.
Carlton. Okay.
Carlton is garbage.
I just want to say one thing, just one quick thing, and then Tristan, you're going to go into your topic for the week. This is somewhat of a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the newest episode that came out yesterday, but I will say this.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on.
No, it's small. It's small.
Wait,
no. It's nothing major.
I'm not going to watch it, so go ahead.
Give me a thumbs up when you're done.
Okay, I will say this. If you're married and you tell me you made a friend and I see that friend is fucking Michael Ealy, I am killing you, him, the whole place that y'all were in. Everybody's got to go. Okay, I'm very secure in my manhood, but I will say That is probably the prettiest motherfucker I've ever seen on planet Earth. Ain't no way in hell you being friends with Michael Ealy. That ain't happening. Okay, that's one. And two, Dwayne Martin, you should always thank Will Smith because you'll always have a job. That's it. Thumbs up. I'm done, guys.
Okay. I almost did it, then I saw Ash took her earbuds out. I'm like, all right,
I'm done.
What part of the show made you throw up though? That's what I want to know.
That part.
Okay, that was it. Okay.
That part is mad as hell. You got some goddamn nerves.
I thought she was winning. That's what I thought. I was like winning.
No, winning.
She's winning. She's winning everything. She's winning out here. That's how I look at it.
Man.
Like, go ahead, girl.
First thing I thought was, get the strap. Turn this into what Tristian wanted to be. Turn this into power. Go get the strap. We lighten somebody up tonight. But anyway, Tristian, go ahead and introduce your topic for this week.
All right. So in this installment of Pop Culture Grudges, we have a few things that people are mad about this week. Ooh. So we'll start with the Oscars. So the Oscars announced that they're getting rid of, I shouldn't say getting rid of. They are removing 8 categories from the live show. So, they have that ceremony like right before the show starts. They give out awards. So they're moving film editing, makeup and hairstyling, original score, production design, sound, documentary short, animated short, and live short. They're moving those categories to that part that airs before the.
So everything a superhero movie can win for. Got it. Gotcha.
So the people are upset. The people are upset about this, and like they on Twitter, there's apparently a hashtag called #PresentAll23, and they called the people who are nominated in these categories. They called them last week during a Zoom call and like told them, "Hey, this is what we're doing." And apparently, people offered workarounds because apparently the whole reason they're doing it, they're trying to slim down the runtime of the show because the ratings are failing.
Crash.
Yeah. So the people, and so they said apparently people on the Zoom call was like, "Hey, here's what we can do. How about we use this workaround?" And they were just like, "No, this isn't a negotiation. This is just what we're doing." I think it's messed up because especially like I won't say. I think it's messed up to remove all 8 of them because those people in those categories work really hard and it's an honor to be nominated. So I mean, yes, no, it's not like Best Actress and Best Actor and Best Film. It's not up there on that level, but they're still important categories and those people should be recognized during the live show. So what do y'all think?
Well, let me preface this. It's not going to be on the live show, but they are editing it to the show itself. So it's still going to be part of the Oscars. It just won't be live. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, I will say this. If they're looking to slim down time, what they should do is what they do for the Grammys. You should tell them that they won before they get there. So when they make their speech, it's not the whole, I was so unprepared for this with this list. I just so happened to have in case I won that scrolls all the way the fuck down. Tell them they won. Again, they're actors. They can act. Me? What? They could do that. That's fine.
Also, they don't need a host.
I agree. You tell them in the Grammys that they won. That's the only reason why you ever see Drake show up or Jay-Z show up. They got to know they won or they're not fucking showing up. So tell them at the Oscars, they can keep the speech. Thank God, thank mom, thank dad. Thank y'all. Go on, sit down. Next one. So if you're looking to cut time on that. And maybe this year, try your best not to fuck up who won. That might also help. But to me, I kind of feel as though if my name was in the credits for a movie, right? Let alone a movie that's being nominated in another category that's being given the respect, I should be included in that. If it's good enough to show Best Actor, well, guess what, bitch? I had to get this actor ready every day. Put me up there. You know what I'm saying? I had to deal with his ass every day in costume and whatever the hell. Put me in there. So to me, I'm not for putting anyone out. If the actors and actresses get the love, directors and screenwriters, costume designers, makeup,
visual artists.
Yes. I mean, hell, anytime you guys hear Ryan Reynolds talk about Deadpool, what does he always say? It's hours I have to sit in that fucking chair. Well, you don't sit in the chair alone. So, you know what I'm saying? So if you get the recognition, they deserve it. So for me, put it all.
What I don't understand is all the unsung heroes of the movie industry too. So you got sounds, you got costume, you got production.
Yeah.
It's they're basically the ones that make up the movie. Like 80% of the movie itself. So it makes zero sense to cut those out. But you want 3 hosts?
It makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
Right.
3 hosts? What? Just get rid of the host.
Get rid of
I
That
agree.
would be done a lot of time, especially on some bad jokes they make every 2 seconds.
And I'm with you, Tristan. The less Amy Schumer,
Yes,
the better.
get rid of her. She
Get rid
gotta
of
go. She
Amy.
gotta go.
There you go. Or just mute her when she talks. That might cut.
Or
some.
just not let her be on stage.
That would
There we go.
also be
That
perfect.
works.
Would also be perfect. But if you need a host, it should always be Ricky Gervais. If you ever need a host, that's just my opinion.
Just need 1 host, 1 or 0. We don't
I
need
agree.
like 17.
1 or 0.
0. God. You don't need like 18.
AJ didn't even work from 2 or 1. AJ just said 1 or none. It's like
exactly. We don't
I
need.
mean,
He's not wrong.
No,
Options aren't that great. Go ahead, Trevon.
No, honestly, I think it's pretty clear, like, why they remove all these categories. All the superhero categories, that's where they win at.
They don't care
That is
about the
not-
superheroes.
That's
not-
where they win at. They don't win those other categories, the best actor, best picture. They're never in those. So
That
those
is
are the
not
ones they
why.
want on the show. That's why. That's what I
That
think.
is not why.
Well,
Honestly, the real reason why they didn't get rid of it, but the real reason why they put it off is it's probably the less appealing categories. Like they're not flashy enough. Like someone that's just a general casual watcher of the Oscars is like, I don't fucking know.
I mean, I don't know none of the movies that are nominated most of the time.
the
So
editing
Right.
one kills me.
Fair.
mean no harm. I don't know
That's fair.
more of these movies.
I mean, look, that's fair, but it's more likely that you'll know at least somebody that walks on that stage for
Sometimes.
actor, actress, director
It's rare.
than you would if the sound equipment guy walks up and goes, "Thank you." You're just like, "What the fuck? You did what?"
And that was
Okay,
a complaint.
you know
I
what I'm
was gonna say-
saying? So
I was gonna say
I
that was.
think that's fine.
I was gonna say that was one of the complaints. People are like, you're trying to appease. You're cutting these categories to appease people who really don't care. Like Juwaan was saying, like they're not gonna know the actors or the, who was nominated most of the time. So like they're trying to appease people who don't really care, and I think that's part of the reason people are complaining.
Right. I mean, look, it is very true. But again, I think the Oscars as a whole have become very unentertaining. Right?
They're starting to become irrelevant, to be honest.
1,000%. 1,000%. I think now, honestly, let's be real as to why the Oscars and the Grammys used to matter so much, right? Because if you're an up and coming actress, right? Like let's say you're oh God, Trevon, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting her name, who plays Captain Marvel. Brie Larson. You're Brie Larson, right? You can make a large case she got the role because winning the Oscar gave her a larger stage for Feige to look into, or not Feige, but the casting directors to look into her and like, who is this Brie Larson, right? But today we see people that have never acted in anything major start their career in the MCU and then just get launched into a whole new stratosphere from that. Think of what's his name that was just Snake Eyes. He was in Crazy Rich Asians. That was the only thing he'd never acted before. And then he became a star off of that. So you now don't need an Oscar to validate you being a superstar, right? So to me, it's like Oscars and Grammys, I don't think they should mean anything or anywhere as near what they used to mean today.
Grammys
because
definitely
you don't need it. Like if I'm Lil Uzi Vert, I'm like, bruh, I sell out across the world. All my songs are #1 hits. I don't need a Grammy to validate any of that. Is it cool to have? Sure. Do I need it to be successful? No. This isn't like 30, 40 years ago where it's like, ew, you didn't win a Grammy. The fuck you been doing all this time? You know what I'm saying? Now it's like a Grammy. What's that? I like 600 MTV awards. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't think they should put as much validity into it as they do, but we know that will never happen. So that's just how I view that. Anybody else have any big issues with this?
I think for me, it's just so weird that I think it was editing was one of the ones that they took out when we just saw how important editing was to a movie with the whole Justice League situation. Whatever you felt from the Snyder Cut versus the original, you can objectively, that was a better movie.
Right.
And so we see how important editing is. Why would you why would you want to try to diminish that? And then to say that like, oh, they're not household names, or you're denying them the opportunity to get a chance to become one.
Right.
Like somebody may become a fan of somebody based off of one that they saw, like, oh, that was a good movie. Oh, this is the person behind it. Now they don't get that opportunity. So it's like to say, oh, it's because they aren't as important because nobody knows who they are. It's like, well, now you took away a chance for that.
Right. I mean, I'm completely with you, AJ. Me and you talk directors all the time. Could you picture a world where me and you just didn't care about directors and it was just the movie? Right? Like we could never picture that. Directing means so much to us. So it's like, yes, there is somebody that wants to get into sound, right? That wants to be able to look up and say, that's the fucking guy I want to be.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
I want to see more of what he does with sound and what they do with VFX and stuff like that. So I'm 100% with you. They can make stars.
And filmmaking is a collaborative work. So to just take away part of that, it just ruins the industry as a whole, because it's not the same. If you lose a leg, you won't be able to walk. Really.
Right.
You lose an arm, you're struggling. You can't just disregard one category and just say, okay, this is going to be it. It's asinine, basically. It's dumb.
I 100% agree. To me, and look, in the comment section, I want to highlight this before you give us your topic. Sean says there is something to be said that the Oscar needs to educate fans about why those categories are important. People don't care about editing because no movie stars do. People need to stand up for them. Now there are some actors. Well, there are some actors that do stand up. Like they do always talk about the people that did their makeup, the people that did the sound, the people that did the VFX. They do, but it's one of those things that it's not flashy, right? It's just not flashy enough for the general audience to care enough about. There is
I'm going to correct you on that. It's not that's not flashy. It's that the people making the flashy stuff their faces aren't being put in front of it.
I mean, I don't know. What I mean more so is that, like, if you're a casual moviegoer, you're not watching Avengers and going, bro, the fucking VFX? Are you seeing this shit? Like,
sometimes
sometimes
I do that all the time.
I'm saying a casual moviegoer.
A casual moviegoer might just be into VFX and sparkles.
They know this ain't real.
You're not a casual
let's be real.
moviegoer.
Most of the time,
What the hell is that?
I would call myself a casual moviegoer, and I would call myself that, and I would usually go to a movie theater. If I really love the movie, I would go twice. The first time I go to take it in. The second time I go to this first time to enjoy it, whatever. The second time I go is for sound and VFX. People think I'm lying and I'm crazy when I say that, but I love to be able to go back and rewatch to see oh, they did that shit.
That makes you a movie avid, not a casual.
Damn it.
That's not a casual movie.
You just explained literally what
a casual moviegoer is. I went to see Avengers once. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what did you like? I like Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? That's a casual moviegoer.
I thought you were talking about.
But I mean, those things are visually appealing. Like, it's cool. Like, oh, did you see that thing where freaking Ryu did the thing with the fire? Like, I feel like that's what a casual moviegoer would say.
But they're not speaking to the VFX of it. They're just speaking to the end result. They're not speaking to, bro, like, how the hell did they? Like, those are some of the things that interest us. Like, how did they do this? Were they using green screen? You will not leave a Sonic movie and just a random casual person is like, bro, can we talk about how they broke down the digital scale of Sonic? Like, how the hell? Like, no, that's not what
I don't do that either.
Do. They leave the movie and go, bro, I love the movie. It was cool. That's it. That's casual.
I do think
the goal of filmmaking is to make things seamless. So the more seamless it is, the less people will notice that it's CG or the editing is.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But stuff like Shang-Chi, I appreciate it because obviously they did wire work. But how they did the wire work made it seem so flawless that it wasn't like when you watch the first Matrix, you can tell the way he's jumping doesn't even seem like a human being would be able to jump. Like who jumps like that? Right? So then you watch Shang-Chi and you're like, it's the same guy that did the Matrix, but you see how much better he's come. Like, you know what I'm saying? How much better he's gotten in his craft, that it was so seamless. You know what I'm saying? Even though it all looks obviously fake, it looks so beautiful. The opening where his mother was fighting his father, that was beautiful. All that is wire work, but that was so beautiful. How we're talking about it is not what someone says that's casual when they leave. Bro, the fucking wire work here? That's what I'm trying to say. So Ash, you seeing it more than once to see
but I
it,
don't talking about wire works and all of that. I don't be doing that. I just be talking about how it looks, the visuals of it. I mean, listen,
still not casual.
I didn't know that they was doing the little jumping stuff in that movie. I didn't know that they was doing that.
But the thing is, as you try
straight.
to break down the movie itself, like you just said, you look at the editing, you look at the sound.
Okay, that is true. That is true.
Casuals don't really look at that. They just want it to be.
Oh, I agree with you.
entertaining. That's
right. So again, all it takes is one person. I mean, we see it in the music industry all the time where we're like, yo, that is so stupid. Wait, did Jay-Z just wear that? Oh shit, let me buy stock. So it only takes one person that gets up on stage and says, I couldn't be here without Bob, Susan, Mark, and everyone come up on stage with me and let's accept this together. You know what I'm saying? It just takes something small like that for people to go, who the fuck is Bob? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Bob does VFX? Okay. Let me
and that's exactly why they're cutting down on the show. Right? Because that
less people coming up.
Mr. E says, wait, what is this? 2 Jamies? Yeah, that freaked me out too. When I saw the from Jamie.
I don't know what's going on. My internet was like briefly cut out. So I'm trying to make it into the podcast the best way I can. And sometimes you gotta duplicate.
To be fair, to cut time, I did reduce Jamie's bandwidth. To open up more. No, I'm just joking. AJ,
wow.
All right. We saved the hate for last. What is AJ?
I don't know about that, but
what is
AJ?
God. Well, you thought it was hate before.
You're right. You're absolutely
AJ,
right, JB.
I will say this, AJ. No one hot takes more than AJ. You thrive off of it. I think it fuels you. So what is, in your newest segment you're bringing to GVN Talk, what is your hot take of the week?
My hot take of the week is General Zod is a better villain than Joker. So General Zod's Man of Steel is better than the Dark Knight's Joker. That is my hot take.
I will not go first on this. Tristan, you go first. Go ahead.
I was asking him to explain.
Explain?
Please.
I mean, I can explain it. If you want me to explain, I can.
Yes, please.
All right, so.
Yes, please.
Acting-wise, I do really think they're on par acting-wise. I do believe that General Zod is probably one of the best. I won't say one of it. He is the best part of Man of Steel, for me at least. I love his reasoning on why he wants to terraform the Earth. I love the reason why he wants to save his planet and save his people. Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, one of the most iconic villains there is. Best acting wise, everything. That's why I said one of. I didn't say he is the best.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I wouldn't even say he's the best Joker, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And he is the best part of the Dark Knight. He is the Dark Knight. He's legit the best part.
It legit was Joker featuring Batman.
There you go. But my thing is with the Joker is that what is it? With me, I think General Zod is a better villain because he has these goals and pressure of saving this world. While Joker, he basically just got up in the morning and said, let me just fuck up some stuff. And that's that. He really didn't have any motivation, really.
Right.
But that doesn't take away from his character. He is a great character all in all. But my thing is, motivation wise, I feel like Zod is a better character than Joker.
I agree.
I agree with you.
I agree with AJ, and that's been my decade-long issue with Christopher Nolan's take on Joker, is that he was purely for anarchy. That's not the Joker. He's not an anarchist. That's why there's an actual villain called Anarchy. It's always structured. It's always thorough. It's always planned out, and it's always Batman, right? This kind of felt all over the place. Like, I don't think I could ever picture the Joker getting that much money and then burning down an empire.
He's psycho?
No. That's not why he did that. He didn't do it because he was crazy. He did it to prove a point. But the Joker I know wouldn't even do that to prove a point. Money is money at the end of the day. He even says the line in the movie, "You think I care about money?" Yeah. I mean, you've only robbed a bank every other Batman comic. But no, I just felt as
get some more.
I just felt as though he was going for a different interpretation on Joker. And look, it happens. Was it a great performance? For sure.
100%.
But the reason why I say you fell flat on your Joker is because I think we can all agree. Hear me out. Here's why I think that. I think if you put any other actor in there, we don't look at that performance the same. Right? Because I think we can agree Heath Ledger is what made that performance so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
The character and the writing of it wasn't the greatest of all time. He's what made it. So
That
if we
wasn't
took
the
any
argument,
actor,
though.
huh?
That wasn't the argument, though. It was Heath
No.
Ledger.
I'm saying I agree with AJ because I believed in everything Zod stood for. That's not
What
my
did he
Joker.
stand for?
He wanted his plan.
Wait, were you not
He
listening?
wanted his home back. He wanted his family back.
Trayvon, come on.
Like,
Stop taking these L's.
Trayvon, it was legit the first 10 minutes of the movie where he kept saying what he wanted. Like, the first 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes, he was making it very clear what he wanted.
I'm judging on which one I enjoyed more, and I enjoyed the Joker's.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
That
Sorry. I'm sorry.
There's no right or wrong
Definitely.
here. I'm just saying why I agree with AJ. And again, AJ said it's a hot take. So you are on the side of what majority of people.
I'm on the side of getting attacked like I always am, but it's
No,
fine.
you're on the
But
side
you're
of.
not.
Oh,
You just attacked me.
No, I didn't attack you. You were asking me what did God believe in? And I'm like, well, he said it. So yeah, so I just left The Dark Knight kind of going, was it one of the all-time best performances in a superhero movie or a comic book movie? Hands down. But did I ever feel as though it was clear cut what the Joker's motivations were? Never, not once. Now he got the end result he wanted. If I had known, what did he want? Did he want to turn the world against Batman? I can't say that because he had a conversation where he was telling Batman, we're the same person. You're just like me. You know what I'm saying? If you figure that out, you won't ever become me. So I'm like, it was all over the place to me. Zod was very straightforward. He stuck with it, and he ultimately did the one thing to a hero we assume should and can never be done, and that's force a superhero to kill.
In his first movie.
In his
superheroes
first
kill.
No.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yeah, they do.
No.
And I stand on that. That's my hot take.
If I
All
want to,
superheroes
if I
kill.
want to
I don't think
be,
I've ever
if
seen
I want to be,
Spider-Man.
stir the pot. Yeah, casualties,
They all
normal
kill.
people.
No. Are we talking movies or the comic books? In the movies, they're drastically different than their
Everywhere.
comic counterparts. Not in the comic books. I don't remember Spider-Man killing anyone.
Somebody's dying somewhere.
Oh, in the comic book itself, yes, but from the hero, no. Yeah, I mean, Batman's killed in every live action movie. I don't know why. I don't know why they just love for him to kill. It's just one rule.
Because it's realistic.
It's not supposed to be though, Trayvon. Like, it's a man that dresses up as a bat with no superpowers and fights.
Just going around bashing people in the head and everything else. They're gonna die.
Or have a concussion.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm like, there's other.
sure.
Like, I legit watched Michael Keaton's
have a
Batman
brain
turn a
bleed.
Batmobile around and set a guy on fire. You're telling me there's no other way to do that? You couldn't just back
Oh,
into
it's
him
cool.
and knock him out? You had to set him on fire?
Definitely looked cool.
He was fireproof, Juwaan. Don't
Did
worry
it
about
look
it.
cool? Yes. But was it necessary?
Fireproof.
You're stupid. Was it necessary?
But I agree. Can I say I agree with AJ? And look at us agreeing with each other. I'm proud.
The three of us.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, wow, look at this.
What's happening?
Wow, let's not make this a habit. Let's not make it a habit.
Okay.
So
Let's make it a habit.
I said, let's not.
Oh,
Keyword
thank goodness. I
not.
was about to say, I don't tempt fate like that. I do
don't
not
like y'all
tempt
like
fate
that.
like
Mm-mm.
But the thing that I love about the Joker in every single iteration that we've ever gotten him in, and I don't think we got that in The Dark Knight. And for the record, I love The Dark Knight. It was, up until last year, my favorite comic book movie ever. Just, it was.
It came out last year.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, continue.
Thank you. I knew you was going there, but we're still gonna do it anyway. And so
I thought you've been trying the whole time because you got that on. That's what I thought he was doing. Honestly.
Oh man. Okay.
But let me continue. Oh my goodness. And the thing that I love about the Joker and all of his iteration that we didn't get in The Dark Knight was that he always has a long plan, right? There's always it doesn't matter how much twists and turns he takes Batman's on. At the end of the day, it all, like, kaboom, it all blows up. We get to see, oh, this is what he was really working towards. And we didn't get that like that in hindsight, looking back on it, being as objective as we can be, right? We didn't get that from him in The Dark Knight. There wasn't a sense of what actually is his plan. Like, it's his plan, right? He says, do I look like a man with a plan, right? I'm like a rabid dog. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Yep.
That's not the Joker, right? The Joker always has a plan regardless of how crazy it is. So I do agree with that. And like Zod, from the start to end of the movie, you knew exactly what it was that he wanted. He did not stray from it no matter what. And like Juwaan said, right? He made Clark do the ultimate thing, right? That we wouldn't want to see Superman do, especially in that first movie where he's so vulnerable. He made him kill.
Yeah. I mean, look, Jack Nicholson's Joker had a plan. He wanted to take over Gotham's criminal underworld, right? Jared Leto, for the small little tad bit we got him in the Suicide Squad, he had a plan. It was the same thing. It was to be the face of the Gotham underworld. We know this how? Birds of Prey. When Joker split from Harley, what happened? Everyone knew I had to green light. Why? Because he runs Gotham. That was his ultimate plan. What did Heath Ledger's Joker keep saying? I don't want to take over any of this. I don't want your money. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do any of that. It's like, well, what do you want to do?
I just want to beat the Batman.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wait,
yeah, I just want to fuck with Batman. And it's like, that's a plan? I'm sorry, go ahead, Tristan.
Wasn't part of his plan to like show that people can be corrupted? Because he did that to Harvey Dent. Wasn't that kind of one of his things? He wanted to show that if backed against a wall, people will. Because remember that was that whole scene with the two two ferry boats,
good people and the criminals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wasn't that part of his plan, like to show that people can be corrupted no matter how good they might say they are? So I think that was kind of a part of his plan.
No
It's
argument
philosophical.
there. No argument there. My issue with that, why ever would that be something Joker cares about? Again, you're digging too deep into the mindset of the Joker. It never needs to be that. It's very simple. I want to cause chaos. I want power. I want money. I want Batman to suffer.
But it was
right?
just about being who's the better villain. Like, whatever.
Who's the better villain?
Whatever.
What do you mean?
I don't really care.
So you're saying you don't want that complexity there? You just want it to be simple and straightforward? Like, you don't want him to have a...
That's what the Joker is. Now, if the character is more...
But does every iteration have to be like that?
No, but do I need it to be that? No.
I also think, I will say,
I need my Joker to be a deep thinker? Hell no. Like, what is
Well,
that?
yeah,
I read a few books and I am thinking, you know what? I am a product of society. Let me show you why.
Well, the thing is with the Joker overall is that he is a simple thinker, but because Batman is an overthinker, that's why they complement each other so well. It's because Batman's an overthinker, and it's the simple things. It's always the simple things that trip up a person that overthinks all the time. So that's my thing with it.
And that's why I prefer Zod, because what was Zod telling Clark the whole time? It's bigger than you. You're only seeing it because you've lived here for so long. You've allowed them to warp you, but it's bigger than you. You're forgetting where you come from. I want to rebuild our home. And Clark was just like, no, I'm not down for that. That's what I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that than the Joker giving me a class on philosophy. Like what the hell? What are we talking about?
I will
It was
defend.
very enjoyable. Are you kidding?
It was. I will
I
say
agree.
my one favorite Joker scene that I thought was really Jokery, right? The
Jokery.
shenanigans that he would do, right? Was when he sewed the phone up inside the man
I agree.
and had it ringing.
Yep.
Right? Like that was such a fucking Joker moment.
Yep.
Like,
yep. Look,
and-
I always say that movie is one of the greatest movies of all time. It's just not a great Batman movie. I always say that. I always say that because people always say it wasn't a good movie. Yes, it was a good movie. It for sure was. If I'm suspending the belief of what Batman and Joker should stand for, then it's perfect. I love everything about it. Everything about it. But when I'm
See, for
looking
me,
as
the
a
only
fan
thing I
of
liked
Batman
was-
and Joker, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Trevon.
I don't say for me, for those movies, I like the movie because of the Joker. I did not like Christian Bale's Batman, and I've always said that. So that's just how I feel about it.
Well, it's just
I
one
think
movie,
you're
not
wrong.
multiple. But yeah.
I don't think you're alone.
yeah,
I
you're
think
not alone with
I've
that.
had issues with Christian Bale's Batman.
Who are they? Oh, that line gets me every time. Hate that line.
That was something else, man. That's why when Ben came out and he had the voice modulator, it was just like, oh, someone gets it. Okay, you don't have to try so hard. It's just other ways you could do things. And what would have helped his Bruce Wayne a lot is if you stopped running off to talk to people with a mask on. Like, I don't know what you look and sound like. Like when he went to go visit Gordon in the hospital and he put on the ski mask, and it's just like, Gordon, you're supposed to be one of the greatest detectives in police history in Gotham. How the fuck you not know that was Bruce Wayne? His eyes are still the same. Everything is still the same. And he's just like, I don't know who that was. That's Batman. Come on, dog. Come on, doggy. He had to tell you about a childhood memory for you to go, oh shit. Meanwhile, Dick came in right on the spot. You're Batman. The fuck? Yeah, you're Batman. Sorry, I knew this since I was like 10 years old. You're Batman.
Since I was in my mother's womb, I
Yeah,
knew
he
that.
was like, yeah. I was in my mom's womb. I was just like, that guy's Batman. Yeah, I knew it. And meanwhile, Commissioner Gordon's like, well, I'll be damned. After all this time, and it's like, bro, he figured this shit out like 4 months ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, and you just now found out. Anyway, read a few of these comments and we're getting out of here. Heath Ledger's Joker was insanely racist. What?
Was it? No.
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Green.
He killed a black guy. But
Sean. He killed a lot of people. Though.
I don't know all that. Tell him about all that.
Trayvon. I was really sitting here. I was like, wait, did he kill any black people?
I was trying to figure it out. I was like,
The first person he killed on screen was black when he
Yes,
showed up
yes,
to the
he was.
meeting and he made the pencil.
The pencil, yes.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, the
Wow,
first person
no,
he killed
that-
was the robber in
Yeah,
the
and
bed
the robbers. So, excuse me. The first
Oh,
scene.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. But to be
Okay.
fair, we don't know who was under that mask.
No, they were white.
Yeah,
They were not
we
black. They were
know.
white. They were white.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, Ash. But are we sure?
This.
All right, let me read these so we can get out of here. Hold on. Sean agreed with you, AJ. He would go with the Green Lantern Corps without a doubt. Richard Rider is not Nova Prime, the top dog in the Corps. No, Richard isn't. Sam is who they made to be the top dog, as far as I know. AJ, remember Kyle Rayner became active god? That may cause soups an issue or two. Let's see.
I mean, I remember that. Do y'all remember that's the issue?
Bruh,
that don't
I
mean that
don't
he gonna
care
win.
if he became
Not
God
yet.
himself. Superman is beating the brakes off Kyle Rayner. I don't know how you slice that cake. She would be great, referring to our pick is Sue Storm. There's a rumor that Chris Evans may come back as Johnny Storm. That rumor was for in the Multiverse of Madness, not to be the new Johnny Storm for the MCU. That would just
I would
That'd be really weird.
Yeah, you know.
that would be the
mind it.
weirdest
I
thing.
still I
That'd
want the
be really
cameo.
weird.
I want the cameo though.
Yeah, the cameo.
Oh, for
I'm
sure,
like-
yeah.
Very much
Yeah,
want it.
cameo,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's referring to him being the new Johnny Storm.
Yeah. No.
Because we've already got a report from I think Variety like a year and a half ago, a year and a half ago, that he had signed a new deal with Marvel. So I assumed when that news came out, and then the news that Falcon being Captain America was getting his own movie, that's probably the next time we'll see Chris Evans is probably in that Captain America movie.
How?
That makes
so? If he's not
not
old.
dead. No, but he would probably still be old. There was a older, not that old, but there was an older Steve Rogers that just became a head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I thought he died technically in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then it seemed like they kept alluding to the fact that he was dead.
They were alluding to the fact that no one knows where he went, so they assumed he died.
Didn't they say something at the end of the series though? Like, now that Steve's gone, not like now that Steve's retired or whatever. I don't know.
Gone is not dead.
Gone but not dead. Yeah.
Gone but not dead. Again, look, I'll say this, guys. I'll say this just to bring context for the group. The last time we saw him, he was very much breathing, and then we did not see him again. So we have no reason to believe he died.
Right.
He was geriatric. He was geriatric when he was like, "No, I don't think I will share whatever secrets." So he probably died.
As soon as we cut away from him, he just croaked. He died on the bench.
I believe it.
Exactly. So
I don't believe it.
So my thing is like, why bring back Chris Evans to be an old CGI dude? Like, I don't know.
Not CGI. That's definitely just heavy makeup. A mentor. Look, he just became Captain America. It's only going to get harder. So I don't
just
mind.
said it this week, but they're going to put him through the ringer.
Right.
Oh yeah,
so
it's trash. I don't care. It's trash.
I can see him leaning on
I don't
Steve.
like it.
Because to me, you couldn't put Steve in the series because once we see Steve, before you've knighted Falcon as the new Captain America, then it becomes we'll just give Steve his shit back, right? So now that we've known
he's old.
He is,
if he's old, I'm like,
listen, you underestimate how much these people like Steve.
He didn't lose his strength. But no, I think you just needed Falcon. You needed Falcon to actually like have his own and become Captain America. So
I would love to see
unwavered going forward.
I would love to see an interaction between Steve and Isaiah Bradley. That'd be great.
I would too.
Yeah.
Isaiah Bradley would probably try to beat the brakes off his old.
Well, he don't know who he is though, right? He said he doesn't know him, right? So
no, but
he said he never told. No, he said he never told him. He said in the show, he said I never told Steve about Isaiah. He said I never told him.
Oh, no. But Jamie's just saying she would like to see them interact. Not like, I know you, but just like meeting for the first time interacting. I'm saying Isaiah might see him and go, bitch, I was you. So they fucked me over. I was you.
I feel like, I don't know, Sam might facilitate some kind of meeting. I don't know if he just wants to see what happens when two old people get mad and try to start smack her. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But see, now y'all not making sense. Isaiah's old as hell and still strong and kicking. Why can't Steve be old as hell and Steve kicking?
Listen,
why not look
at
They're not running around
at the end of that movie.
He might not.
Isaiah was looking like he could still handle himself. Steve was looking like he needed to be in a retirement home.
Exactly.
I will not allow y'all to do Steve Rogers like that.
I like him, but
Steve Rogers did himself like that.
Ain't
nobody told him to go back in time and stay there. Looking all wrinkly, geriatric, and whatever. That's his fault.
I don't think I will. It seemed very hard for him to get out at the end of that movie. I was like,
say it again.
The way he said that line was kind of hard to get out. No, I don't think I will. I was like, no,
he looked
like too old. It's too old.
He's ready to kick the bucket.
What Steve was thinking in that moment was when he was handing it over, like, I probably could still do this shit. Nah,
absolutely not.
Here, you can take this shit. I'm telling you right now, somebody tried to rob Steve, and he showed them he still.
Life alert.
I'm telling you.
That's what's gonna happen.
Life alert. Car. Why I need life alert?
He's gonna jump into that fight.
He's a little too old,
jump into that fight. His old ass is gonna get knocked down, and he goes, "What? What was that commercial? Right? Help! I've fallen and can't get up."
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Gonna break
for
his
the
super
Captain
hips.
America movie to come out, only for y'all to find out Steve was only 79. Y'all sitting here thinking this man.
That's still old,
that is
though.
Very bad.
That is still old.
He's
Acting like that's not
old.
old.
I ran a marathon. What are y'all saying right now? Not old.
If he is 79 and looking like that as a super soldier, he needs to be ashamed.
Hey, time out. No, time out, Ash. If Black don't crack,
Excuse
That's
me.
what I'm saying.
It's Black
Yes.
History Month.
If black don't
It is
crack,
Black History
Okay.
Month.
black don't.
Where
no,
you
I'm
going with
saying,
this?
Right.
Hear me. If black don't
Excuse me.
crack,
It
something
is
else
Black
must
History
crack.
Month. Don't do this. Don't do
Something
you.
else
You almost
must
went
crack.
the full show.
I'm just saying they could all look that bad at 79 years old. Ain't everybody black? That's all I'm saying. Maybe that's what
What
they
is
all look like at
happening?
9 years old. That's all I'm saying. But I
Juwaan,
ain't
you
saying
you
none of that.
really went you really went almost the entire show without any of the and then you just
I'm controversial. I learned it from
couldn't
Adrian.
couldn't let it go.
Mr. E said, did you folks know there was talk of a Batman versus Godzilla movie back in the 60s? I believe it. I believe it. In the
Listen, a
60s,
lot
there
of-
was probably nothing bigger than
Yeah,
Batman.
that was high as fuck in the 60s. So I believe it.
What?
What?
Why we gotta be high? Why we can't get Batman versus Godzilla?
No.
That is a concept that'll come with somebody as high though. Like,
Why
I
not?
don't know if anybody's
Thank
sober
you.
saying that.
Thank you.
Nah.
Thank you. Because that's
I'm
some shit
sober as
I would think
hell.
about when I'm high.
I'm sober as hell and I'm about to go write that script. I'm about to go write Batman beating the brakes off Godzilla. That's what I'm about to go write right now. Beating the
That's gonna
brakes.
be just like that Chris
You
Evans
really
movie.
love
I'm not gonna say the
Batman.
lie.
You know, I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
respect it.
That's
You
all I'm
really
saying.
love Batman.
All I'm saying is last time I checked, Godzilla's hand stopped right here. That's all I'm saying. What reach he got?
He don't ain't got to worry about
What
reaching
he got?
nothing. He just gonna stomp Batman.
Exactly.
Literally stomp him.
Exactly.
All
Well,
right,
he got his
all
atomic breath.
I love
Like,
Batman
we doing
too,
this-
but I am not trying to make him
All right.
fight Godzilla.
Nah, he fighting Godzilla.
Exactly. You gotta
That's
you
all.
gotta respect your weight. And right now, Godzilla is out of his weight. So go
Nope.
back to
He
his
may-
weight
He
category.
might be out of King Kong's. He ain't out of Batman's. And what did they say? King Kong ain't got shit on me. Amen now. All right, let's see. All right, so that's all we got for you
Kong,
guys.
we're gonna talk about this. We're
That's
gonna talk
all we
about
got
this
for
next
you
week because we
guys.
ain't gonna talk bad about Kong. Mm-mm.
Kong got his ass beat by a guy with no hands. Like legit, no hands, and he got his ass whooped. Godzilla used mouth and tail. And King Kong had no hands.
Tail.
Think about
I
that.
don't
He
like
used
the way
mouth,
that sounded.
he used, that's what he used. That's what he used. If y'all would have turned it into something, that's y'all. But that's all he used. He used mouth and tail.
Oh God.
Stop saying that.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, you can make
I
you
got
can make a
tears
case
in my
that
eyes.
most awards have been won that
Oh.
way. Mouth and tail. That's all I'm
Okay. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. We
You
getting
just end the
Come on,
show.
stop
Let's-
saying
let's-
it.
Anyway, I want to thank Didge. I
Oh.
want to thank you for joining us. I hope we didn't scare you off. I hope you want
You
to
say that to
this
every
is so
single
much
person that
fun.
comes on.
This was so much
I
fun.
do.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
You are welcome anytime you want to join. You are more than welcome to join in. Just know it'll only get crazier. It'll only get crazier. You thought AJ's hot take was hot this week. Trust me. 3 a.m. he'll think of something hotter.
He's
So
not
think
wrong.
it's
Honestly, that is
hotter.
true. Because AJ, the first thing I see when I wake up and I go on Twitter is you every single day.
I'm
If
a
I
heavy
don't see
thinker
you
at
on my
3 a.m.
Twitter first thing in the morning, there's something wrong.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, AJ has some kind of algorithm. That's all I
It sounds
see.
like
is
you're.
AJ.
It sounds like you're the Twitter follower that you apparently are a hot commodity on Twitter.
Ooh, don't say that now. Don't do
You
that.
know what?
Mm-mm.
He's
Let's
only
not go that
Uh-oh.
far.
time out, Didge. He's only a hot commodity because he tweets the most. I don't think there's a being on earth that tweets. AJ will think it and then just go, no, I gotta tell the world.
You're right. I got no filter.
The world gotta hear this.
Sometimes you just gotta write it down. I'm gonna forget it.
And sometimes
I'm
you
gonna
got to keep
forget
it
it the
in the
next 2
draft.
seconds. I'm gonna have to write it down.
Oh my goodness. Like AJ, sometimes I be seeing you arguing with yourself, like, I don't know where all this Batman hate is coming from, but fuck y'all. And I'm like, AJ, who's hating on Batman? Like, where did you find this, AJ?
I just be
Why are you
overthinking
doing
it.
I do be wondering what AJ be talking about
I
sometimes.
be-
Yeah, it just be like,
Like
who are
you
you
didn't
mad at,
quote tweet or
AJ?
nothing. Who are we talking
Look,
about?
I be in my own head sometimes. Okay,
You don't gotta tell us that.
Oh, we
AJ.
know. We know.
Let me
we
be.
see it.
We know. Anyway, AJ, I love you. All right, last thing I want to hear from you guys before I get off. It is Batman week, right? We probably won't have GVN talk because I want to give everyone a chance to see the Batman. I don't want to rush anyone. I want to give them all week to see it, all weekend, and we'll review it sometime during the week.
No, we
But I
talking
want to
March
know,
1st.
huh?
We talking about it March 1st. As soon as it comes out, we're talking about.
Oh, me and you, yes,
Yeah.
me and you for sure.
I'm
For sure.
seeing it as well.
Oh, you're seeing it
Like,
March 1st? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Look at them. Rude.
Damn.
Relax.
Rude.
My
The
goodness.
last time we talked, Trayvon said, "Oh, I'm not going to see it on my
Exactly. That's what I'm
I'm not
saying.
going
Trevon
to
was like,
the
oh, I'm not going to
We discussed this last week. Y'all not gonna keep
Exa-
throwing this in my face. I said I got the ticket last week. Just stop playing with me, okay?
Yes, you
Yeah.
did. Yes,
Stop
you
doing
absolutely
Wait,
did.
this was his direct. This was the direct quote. He said, "Oh, I'm not going to watch Batman because I'm not sure if I'm."
I
gonna watch
never
it."
said I wasn't gonna watch it.
Yes, you
See?
did.
That
yes,
was
No, I
you
did
did.
not.
That
On
was
March
me.
first, you said, "Oh, I don't think I'm gonna watch
Okay,
it.
but
I don't
March
think I'm
1st,
gonna
you talking
watch
about
it."
overall now. Come on. I didn't say that.
Mr. E is wild. Okay. So the last question I want to ask you guys is I play this to our exit. Sorry, let me put this is this. Okay. Oh Jesus.
Oh,
I got
you
it.
did that. I was so confused. I was like,
I'm
what
so
just happened
nervous.
to my
Like, what is
screen?
this?
Okay.
Yeah.
So relax.
Can you warn people first?
No, I don't need to warn none of y'all. I'm the host. What's wrong with y'all? Anyway, I want to go through.
I didn't agree
want
to
y'all to
this.
tell me your favorite Batman. You can only pick one. Didge, I'll start with you. Your favorite Batman.
Ooh.
You can add in animation if you want.
Keaton.
All right. Tristan?
Bale.
Did you say Val?
Bale.
Bale. He said Bale.
Bale. Oh, oh, it is the.
I'm just gonna pick the controversial choice. You know, I'm okay with that.
No,
I
that's
think
not controversial. If you had said Val, that would have been controversial. I would have blocked you. Trevon. What's yours? Trevon, there's only like 10 of them.
I said Clooney. Did you not hear me?
Oh no, I didn't. Oh my lord!
Wait. He
Wow.
said Clooney. So is that worse than mine, or so where are we?
No. Let me be clear. Bale. If you said Christian Bale, Bale was not bad. I thought you said Val, like Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay. I was like,
It
what
was
do you mean?
fun, too.
Yeah, no, I thought you said Val Kilmer. And to answer your question, yes, George Clooney. It's much worse than anything.
Whatever. To you. Whatever.
Bat nipples? Come on, Trayvon.
Bat nipples.
Anyway,
That's
Great film.
Jamie,
Cinematography. Okay.
what's your Batman?
My fave is Kevin Conroy. I always got to stick with the animated series. He's done some amazing work. Just animation, video games, all of it. I love it. Live for it. He's my fave Batman.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. AJ,
Robert Pattinson.
Ash,
Kevin Conroy. He's my only. That's Batman for me.
I'm
Go.
with AJ. Just like Tom Brady said when he was asked what's his favorite Super Bowl, he said my next one. My favorite Batman will always be whoever's next up at bat. That's my favorite Batman.
Facts.
My loyalty is with the suit, not the legacy. Is with the suit. All right, so I want to play. This is something that our artist Dakota made in promotion for the Batman dropping for most of us this Tuesday, for all of us this Thursday.
Oh.
nice.
Oh,
Okay.
Fancy.
Like that.
like that.
Very nice.
Ooh, that's
That's
nice.
Shout out
nice.
to Dakota.
That's
Shout
real
out
nice.
to Dakota. I wanted to give
that.
That was
wanted to give
Very
him
nice.
a large shout out. We appreciate it. For our whole entire GVN team, I have the new logos we're using for the Batman's release. One of them, as you guys can see, is behind me. I have other ones if we want to, come together and do a Batman week where we use the Batman GVN logo for a profile picture. I've even changed my name to Batman. That's all I am for the entire month of March. Just Batman. That's it.
March Madness, all Batman.
Batman. There you go. All right. So when's the next stream? The next stream will probably be, I don't know.
March
This week is tough because
March 1st.
I'm seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing it March 1st.
10
Maybe
o'clock
AJ,
stream.
maybe me, you, Joel, and Trevon might go live to do a non-spoiler. And then the rest of us can all get together for a spoiler.
I don't know. Will you be able to keep it in?
It's a Batman movie. I don't think there's much that I could honestly spoil. I mean, you guys know Batman will win at the end of the day, right? Like you know that.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not just about how it ends. It's about the journey. Don't be spoiling the journey for people.
Oh, okay. Selena dies. Anyway, all right. So,
Oh,
Miss B,
absolutely not. If they did that, I'll hate the movie. I will hate the movie. That happens, I will hate.
Mr. E said
Oh.
Say that right now.
his Batman is King Keaton, so he'll enjoy seeing Michael Keaton twice within the span of 2 years, this year and next year. So, eat it up. You got your Batman back. But all right, Didge, I want to thank you. Shout out to you and the Geek Set podcast. Love what you guys got going over there, man. Make sure you guys follow them on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, right? Am I forgetting any other social medias?
No, that's everywhere, and it's Geek Set Podcast everywhere. So,
Yep. Look at that. Don't try to correct me, Jamie. Know what I'm doing.
It was
I'm
a
the
question. It
hostess
wasn't
with
a
the most.
statement. It was a question. I'm just trying to
Hostess
make
with the
sure.
most here. All
Okay.
right? I put
okay.
Regis out of business, okay? All right now.
What
I
is
wanna give
happening?
a huge-
Money. What
wanna give a huge
money?
shout out.
Monopoly?
Excuse me, I put Regis out of business. Is he on TV right now? No. Am I? Yes. Thank you. Tristan, I want to give a huge shout out.
Where? What channel?
Your newest
Where is
article.
Yeah.
for Bel Air.
What's your ratings like?
We've moved on. Your newest article for Bel Air has dropped yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yesterday. All right. Make sure you guys check out Tristan's article. Great one. Like I said, Tristan's the reason I'm even watching the show. I was not going to give it a chance. I really was not. But I'm glad I did. So I appreciate you, Tristan. Trevon, I appreciate you always coming back, even though you feel as though I pick on you. But you know it's love. It's always love, Trevon. Always.
Don't.
Uh-huh.
It does. You
It's
don't listen. You
always
need to.
love.
You need
Stop.
to find a new way to show love. Then
Ah,
a new way.
I will repeat. I was asleep and I woke up to you texting me saying, "Hey, you did nothing wrong, but I threw shots your way." And you're telling me
Listen,
I
that's
need
for
to find
everybody.
out.
I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. Sometimes you need to be warned beforehand, and that's what I do. You still get the shots, but
You don't
will be
get no
warned.
warnings from me. That's all
Exactly.
I
If
know.
you miss, if it misses you, it misses you. If it hits you, that's your fault. You had your warning,
I don't even know.
but you need to do better.
I want to give a shout out to Jaime. Jaime, plug your Twitch page because you got a whole bunch of gaming you're about to do the rest of this year.
Oh my lord! Actually. Oh my gosh! It is so crazy to think I'm graduating college in May. So
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I will be gaming more. Thank you guys. Thank
Congratulations.
you.
So Jaime just told us officially when she's going to completely turn her nose up at all of us is May. Is when Jaime will go, Geek Vibes? What is that? I'm a billionaire.
Nerd Vibes Nation? Nerd Vibes? What are you talking about?
What is that? Who are they? So okay, I'll mark that in my calendar. So I know when
Book
not
me
to
when
be-
you can. Book me when you can.
All right, yeah, no, cool. All right, so we'll podcast every day.
Oh wow. Yeah, as always, I love being here. It's great talking with you all. I'm on Twitch, twitch.tv/swiper_prime. The streams, they're coming back. This past couple weeks I've been filming my short film with the club that I'm working with on campus, but I almost said next weekend, but I'm also filming next weekend. We gonna get a film in. We gonna get a film in. Or a film streaming. We're gonna get a streaming.
There you go. So make sure you're following Jaime over at Twitch so you can keep up to date. I just played that new game. What's that fighting game?
Sifu?
Yes. I
It's
hate
fire.
that game.
Oh,
Not because it's
that
bad.
game's so
Not because it's bad, but if you die, they literally make you start all the way at the beginning. I don't like that. Figure that shit out. All right? I hate that.
Okay, so here's my thing about Sifu, right? Sifu is kind of like Dark Souls E. So where like you kind of have to strive for perfection while playing. But getting to that point is fun.
Nah,
Like you
Nope.
only need to learn like one technique and then you're good for like most of the game. After that, it's just learning the enemies.
I'm telling you right now, when that I think it's called Game Shark, I think is what it's called, came out for Game Boy. The cheat code thing that you could put in the back of your Game Boy.
Oh
that
yeah.
shit came out. Do you think I ever struggled on gaming a day after that? Absolutely. I've
Hey, man.
gone through.
I respect it. Play it. They did come out with the update to make the game easier, so you might be able to enjoy it a little bit more.
No. I need this game to be played by a 5-year-old. That's how easy I need it. So when it gets to that, that's when I'll play it again. I needed those levels. I want to give a huge shout out to Ash and AJ also. Look, this is our time. We've been waiting for Batman. It's now. It's now. There is no other
waiting
time.
5 long years.
I don't think Ash.
5 long years.
Trevon.
Trevon, what did Rita say after all those years? Finally, finally. I'm telling you, man. Like I said before, I don't even think the birth of my child will bring.
I did think you said the wrong name too.
I think you did.
What did I say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what did I say? I said a lot. I don't know. Anyway, it's Batman week. I'm enjoying it. Okay. I've been waiting too long for this. And then the month ends with Moon Knight.
Oh my God.
And with Halo sprinkled in right in between.
Yo. Oh my God.
And then Multiverse of Madness is the month after that. And exactly on the
Wait, they pushed
same
it
day.
back?
again.
AJ, it's in May.
Wait,
It is?
Multiverse of Madness is in
Yeah,
May?
it's
Oh yeah,
May.
you're right. Yeah, you're
This is
right.
why I don't let
I'm
you
thinking-
say stuff, AJ.
I'm thinking
I had it
that
perfect.
Moon Knight. I'm thinking that Moon.
Come on.
since
I mean,
Moon Knight
I get
started.
it down. April is great for me. You know, I got the
What's in
next
April?
the next Fantastic Beasts movie.
That's
and
not
the
Batman.
Sonic, the second
That's
Sonic
not
movie.
Batman.
Second Sonic movie is in April?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it
It's
is.
flying
I don't
under
know why
the
I was
radar
thinking it was
because
in fall.
yeah, Sonic's flying under the radar because it's bookend between Doctor Strange and Batman. So it's kind of flying, but it does come out.
See, what's crazy is on social media they be posting they just posted new posters for each individual character and who the actor that's playing them too.
Yeah.
They need to promote that date more because I had no idea.
I agree. They also need to promote the new Sonic game. I don't know what the hell they will get that shit out. For my sake and Trayvon's, because he'll start to think the game will never come out if you don't say something about it soon.
I'm trying to keep the hope alive for this Hogwarts game behind me. I'm trying to manifest it.
Yeah.
We won't hear nothing that game until like 6
Trayvon, we might be talking about that Harry Potter game 60 years from now. We're gonna be talking about
Stop.
alive, keep
Need
Hogwarts
it.
alive. We're gonna be keeping a whole bunch of stuff alive. That'll be right with it. But I want to thank you guys for joining us for this Q&A episode of GVN Talk. As you can see, guys, it's like a family here. We have so much fun. We had fun with you guys and all your questions and your comments. We appreciate it. Like I said, I can't tell you when the exact next stream will be. I don't want to make any promises, but it will be soon. I promise you that, and it will be Batman related. So stay tuned. And again, shout out to Dakota for that beautiful edit for the Batman.
Yes.
You did your shit.
Yeah, we got one coming out for Halo. We got one coming out for Moon Knight. So we're gonna get real creative. Anyone that did
collecting
the
checks.
Yeah, anyone who did the MCR with us knows how creative Dakota is. When he did the WandaVision TVs that showed the different time. Yeah, so you guys know. So stay tuned, guys. We appreciate you. Until next time. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.